for another 2 minutes. I wonder if they want to try to use it. You're reaching the stage in the game now when the Aegis gets less and less powerful because all the cores are just starting to be 6-slotted, so you have to replace items to carry the Aegis around on everyone.
Start giving it to the supports, give it to Kuro.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we could give it to the
fight.
Caudle. Actually, no. Caudle has been 6-slotted for 10-15 minutes now.
Hey, but at the same time, he's been staring down that Octarine core for the last 25 minutes.
I wonder what item he's going to replace, if he thinks the Ewell's Glimmer or Force Staff is more important, or the BKB. Now that it's down to 5 seconds, his other items might actually be more important for the team than his own BKB. I'm going to see if he reaches that stage, but Liquid look to keep on the pressure. They want to use this Aegis advantage. It's pretty big when there's no buybacks on the VP side to push with here.
They've got the time.
Still not that easy.
So it's about a minute now before the Aegis model will be reclaimed. Exorcism just came back off cooldown for Miracle. But they're not close enough to push, but they're all grouped up as 5, almost like they want to go for a smoke play. There is a smoke on Kuro. But this push is also very, very obvious. It's exactly what VP are expecting. The only question mark is, can Team Liquid catch anybody out? They're trying to be efficient. If GH he can recall in any hero that's farming up, Matubberman as well as Mind Control have gone jungle. Mind Control's trying to find that second disable. He's looking for the site device.
They decide it's too hard to push, so they're going to just use this Aegis to farm. And they're going to build a gold advantage. When you sit on the whole map like this and you farm jungles, you generally gain, I'd say, 500 to 1,000 gold over the enemy team per minute. So as long as that Aegis is up and VP have cooldown on buybacks, Liquid will be extending their lead. At least they should.
Well, you take a look at that lead, you'll see just how much it swings. The gold graph just goes straight up and down. It moves by 5k up in favor of Virtus Pro, then 7,000 in favor of Team Liquid. And before that 5k advantage, it was actually 6.5 to 7k in favor of Virtus Pro. This game is swinging so hard.
What level 25 talents are close? Caudle is going to get it in one wave.
Yep.
Big is far away.
It's like Miracle, can you just back off so GH can have the full experience? There we go.
The Crystal Maiden is not far off either, and I think Solo in this game will be taking the Nova damage. That talent is sick. It makes the spell more than twice as effective damage-wise. Goes from 250 to 550 AoE damage nuke on a 9-second cooldown.
Is that the reason why Solo's building for an Aghanim Scepter and not just like the Glimmer to hide? Because with the Gem of Truth side always being on the ground in Necro books, there is nowhere to hide for Solo.
Oh, once these BKBs drop that low, the Frostbite from the Freezing Field can become very powerful if he manages to set it up. So I think it's one of those, you know, you're playing for that one opportunity. Arguably, there are other items here that would be very good as well. But he has been able to get his Freezing Field off in a couple of fights just by being very patient. So if that starts applying Frostbite, then he might go for the Frostbite talent instead. Who knows?
Then Liquid have to start thinking about who they're focusing in these fights. Right, for the moment, it's just defense duty from Virtus Pro. They're spamming out as much as they can, but you got Boars coming in pairs from the Beastmaster through the top lane. So Plague Wards that could be committed by Ramses across the mid as well as the top, mainly being focused towards the mid. That's where Miracle is, and that's where their last lane of Rax is.
Lycan is pushing bottom.
Yes,
one wolf.
Yeah, critical
161 damage. He has 2 wolves now, so I was thinking about it. Healing up.
He's got catapults coming.
He actually used his ulti here. Might pop the book as well to try to get this ranged Rax.
They're trying to deal with top lane quickly.
Back in.
Bloodright's not doing enough at the moment. Matubberman going to trigger dog form down. Look at the damage that thing does. The range racks will fall. Meanwhile, Mind Control push it through the top, and Liquid, the rest of the force have come in through the mid lane. Exorcism from Miracle. The range racks are falling. The catapult's taking care of that. Lil jumps in for the stun. Miracle able to protect himself thanks to the BKB, but Rupture is up. Miracle, does he really want to try and run out this one? The Yule Scepter keeping him in the air. He'll fall back towards the ground, but the sight will put him down. 154 seconds is how long he has to be dead, but the mid Rax is gone, the bottom Rax is gone, the Beastmaster is also not gone. He has to stick around a little bit longer just to enjoy the company of Virtus Pro before they kill him. Bottom lane GH, TP, starts Lil, there's no stun, they'll penetrate that immunity. So Virtus Pro losing 2 lanes of Rax, but there's a window of opportunity against Team Liquid to push back.
1 lane remaining. The Death Prophet's still dead for 2 minutes, so VP might be able to force this buyback. Beastmaster, however, will not have it at all. He will have it off cooldown in 20 seconds, but is far off on gold. So let's see if VP go for something crazy here.
I was waiting
Starting to enter Rapier territory.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to happen from no one. You get the full Mjolnir being purchased up for Ramses. So at least you're going to have the Disco Lightning Shield for Virtus Pro.
Oh, they're thinking about killing Pasha down here on bottom lane.
They may just be thinking of also going straight in. Like, if Kuro and Matamba could find this kill, it may throw a big spanner in the works. As Pasha, here comes your BT in for the Bloodseeker. They kill the creep off. He cannot come apart from high movement speed. Meanwhile, in the mid, GH is dying. That's actually what's giving the movement speed for no one to just beeline it towards the bottom lane. He'll throw the Rupture out. It's on Matamba, who has to sit inside the dog form and BKB. He doesn't want to keep this run going towards the bottom lane. They keep the pressure up. Miracle is there to defend it, looking for his target. He's found Lil, keeping the silence going, but this Rupture target and silence target Lycan on the run. Where is that Bloodseeker right now, dealing with the creep waves while the rest of Virtus Pro envelop the bottom lane? Kuro, he has a TP off cooldown right now, so he'll get away. The poor Courier with the face boots, however, will not be so lucky.
That is such a crucial mistake there from no one not getting that teleport in on the Necrophos, but TPing on the creep next to him instead. He does have the BOT level 2s. We're talking about it. When you get to this stage, you can counterplay these ganks by just porting on the hero. Porting on the creep there delays his reactionary play, and they end up getting that kill on Pasha and forcing the buyback. So Liquid under pressure again, making the better decisions and the better execution. I think they had to burn their buyback on Caudle, but didn't lose any barracks. And now it's scary, because if this Necrophos dies, I think that could be the end of this game with only one lane left.
It could be. At the same time, the shoe's on the other foot. Miracle doesn't have his buyback either. They did have to burn his buyback.
Oh, they used two.
It was Caudle as well as Krob. But the push begins from Ramses. The Plague Wards go down. They're just looking to balance the lanes out. If they can take this bottom lane, then both teams have managed to clean up the mid and the bottom lane of Rax. It's a hard ask, because we go back to that D push. Crypt Swarm and Illuminate. That's all you need to keep these creep waves out. No one wants to fight Mind Control, but that's also a tall order.
They don't have a secondary BOT2, do they? They all have BOT1s. I thought he was going to scout up there and try to set up the kill together with the Reaper side of Pasha, but he has nothing to connect on. So no one is basically just wave clearing here in Smoke of Deceit. And not
They're going for Roshan. So Virtus Pro.
They don't know that.
No, that they don't.
Now they do.
Yeah, now they do. The Hawk dies, and Team Liquid, they're coming. Observer Ward's up on the hillside. Lil going to burrow strike himself down inside of the tree line. I'm not certain if it wasn't scouted out by Team Liquid as they try and wrap around. Matumba's already triggered his dog form, so Shapeshift being used, but Virtus Pro are bailing out. They don't want to take this fight. Mind Control BT's onto his own Hawk, and now it's Team Liquid that look to go in to take Roshan.
They're going to get this Aegis just because Mind Control made a nice push top. They had to come back and defend this lane. And, oh, actually, maybe not. They could be in time.
Here they come. Ramsey to the front lines. GH has to trigger his BKB. Roshan's falling. The Aegis Immortal into the hands of Miracle, and they look to fight harder. The Hex is out, but so is the stun. Mind Control has to use BKB to break free the Frostbite. Team Liquid on the run. Lil, the nice double stun. Burrows once more. The sentry wards are down. No one. Rupture. He actually got Matumbaman. This could be the big kill they're looking for. He can't really break free. His life has to do the work. That's the how. Now Shapeshift. He just tries to run it off. Burns the cheese. And he'll get all the way back to base. Literally running the entire length of the Rupture to his tier 4 towers for life.
If you're playing a pub game and you're playing Lycan, this is not how you play against Rupture in most situations. You generally want to stand still, but you know, if you have a cheese and 4,000 health, you can probably go pretty far. So the cheese is burnt, but they save a buyback, and that is definitely way more valuable right now for Matumba. He did have it in case everything went wrong, but nothing really claimed here for Virtus Pro at all.
Nope. Instead, they're being put into the same position they were previously. Team Liquid coming to the bottom lane. They want to wrap through here. It's an invis rune for Miracle. Will allow him to come close, and Pasha, the man who doesn't have buyback, is the closest to the wave. The Blood Rider's out. He's trying to pulse it. Jump forward. Mind Control gets a roar off. No one hexed up. They're splitting up their attacks here, Team Liquid. They're not exactly certain which one they want to kill, but they would like to have no one who's down to half life and low mana. Shrine has to be burned a little bit earlier. No one does not want to back away from this engagement. That Courier is bringing in a Demon Edge for Ramses and an Aghanim Scepter for no one. They want to start racking up those Ruptures. The control in the team fights is what they require. What does he replace, though?
Diffusal, I think. Maybe his travels, and he just plays with Butterfly and his passive as move speed. Not sure. So far, he hasn't swapped his items out.
And he's trying to make the decision. It's just sitting in his backpack for the moment.
Maybe he forgot he bought it.
I don't think so. The Courier.
I mean, he has 4 dusts in his backpack. Let's be honest. That backpack's just non-existent in this game. bottomless hole. Still hasn't swapped it in. I'm keeping eyes on it.
Yeah.
By the way, Solo went for the Frostbite Taunt. I'm not sure if you mentioned that.
I did not, but it is what we were looking for his Aghanim Scepter.
So he chose that over the Crystal Nova Taunt, which I would say in most cases is better, but if he manages to get off these massive freezing fields with the Frostbite, in addition to just, Frostbite, the Frostbite Taunt is also very good when all these BKBs are so low.
I don't think no one's working out
impact.
himself. He's still sitting here with an Aghanim Scepter.
To just, Frostbite, the Frostbite Talent is also very good when all these BKBs are so low.
I don't think no one's working out himself. He's still sitting here with an Aghanim Scepter. Removing SMY at this point may be a nice choice, but if he's worried about removal of stats.
Yeah, it could be true that the Diffusal is a better item to have here than the SNY. Probably is in many ways, and then it's about whether he thinks that or Travels is more important. I'm curious, we haven't seen any refreshers, to be honest. This is a 73-minute game. Nobody has one, right? Not even the Beastmaster. He's building it, though.
How long does it take to go active? Because he can switch the BKB, right, to his backpack, triggers it, and then...
I guess that might be the idea, that he BKBs and then swaps it out.
But does it give you your ruptures straight away?
I do not know this.
I believe the charges work where you get all of your charges straight up, but I'm not certain.
I've played a lot of Dota, but this is not a situation I found myself in a lot in my 5 games as Bloodseeker. I'd say it's pretty unusual, so...
I don't think many people would have found themselves in a 74-minute situation where both teams have incredible high ground defense. Yep, there goes your Rupture. Onto Mataman. Randy's having his Lincoln Sphere triggered. The Roar is out. The fight has begun. Solo wants to let it go right in front of everybody.
Second
not
Roar!
Work. There's too much damage. The Refresher. They have to buy back on both Benno as well as the Crystal Maiden. So Team Liquid.
Okay. See ya.
They're leaving. They've had enough.
This refresher's big. I think we're going to see more of them come out if this game extends another 10 minutes. They need to be able to refresh their BKBs. They need to be able to refresh their other items. This Beastmaster play here, 2 Hexes, 2 Abyssals, 2 Roars. All right. What a game. What a game this is. I'm not sure what VP are going to do now. So I feel like Refresher is still an item that would be interesting on the Necrophos as well as the Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
Especially.
But right now he's not
really
looking
any
at that.
hero at this point. When you have so many items, being able to refresh your cooldowns is really powerful. Do we have?
They're looking at a jump in instead. He's going for a Blink Dagger on the Necro. Might lean a little bit more towards the mentality of Virtus Pro, where they're like, well, we can keep defending, but we're probably going to lose if we keep doing this.
They have to be able to jump at some point.
Exactly, and that's where the Blink Dagger into sight. It's one of that older, like, I remember when Necro came into Dota 2, it was all about the Blink Dagger. It was all about getting that quick initiation off. In fact, I believe it was Matumbaman who was one of the ones who was doing it. But for the moment...
Still only have 1 Linkins, man. 75 minutes in, there's 1 Linkins on BP. It's sitting on Ramses. And they're playing against Primal Roar with Refresher. That is the item you want to have multiple of right now. Okay, no one made a decision. He swapped out SNY. He did the math. Tapped out his browser. Opened Wolfram Alpha.
All right, so the next math is, do I trade Diffusal Blade for Aegis the Immortal, for Divine Rapier?
I don't know. I still think Refresher Orb would be good on no one. Being able to swap that in, get his second BKB, get another Rupture. Does that even work? I don't even know. You get 1, right?
If it refreshes the 2 Rupture charges,
it refreshes charges as well now, right? That was with the thing that changed with Refresher. So I guess he has 4 Ruptures with a Refresher Orb?
So everyone from Liquid just had to stay there.
I mean, they're doing it anyway, though. It doesn't matter.
The next point you're going to get to is like, well, if only Rupture could stack 4 on one target, but Tubman runs 1 inch and dies.
I would like to see a Linken's, actually. I think that would be a very good item to get now for no one. Just because he can the fact that it's targetable on multiple heroes can make these clutch moves against Beastmaster. Either that or their supports need to get Lotuses so they can reflect the first Roar and then Mind Control can't get the second one off. In this stage of the game, Beastmaster is one of the most incredible heroes to have on your 3 position just because he has the attack speed over for when you want to push. You have the 2 Roars, you have the Mind Control from the Hawks and the map control from Mind Control. And, just buys full utility and sets their team up so nicely. This is a kind of hero you want to counter as a 3. You want to itemize against this guy this later on. This later on in the game, it can be more important than itemizing against the carry of the enemy team. Because these Roars are really what's making Liquid's fights look good.
Yeah, they just have to keep their mind in the game. Remember, Liquid have had a rather long day today already, having to fight through the first series and now here in the third. And you've cracked 76 minutes in this game and you don't know when the end is going to be. Like, even getting a pickoff doesn't guarantee you anything in this game. Net worth is nice because we start seeing like the critical items which help you like counter things, or maybe just make you look like you got swag. But really, it's all about having those buybacks. It's all about being able to have the fight and then being able to have the fight again. And so far, right now, Liquid's in a good position. Everyone has buybacks apart from the Venno and the Crystal Maiden.
Yep. And those are still way off. It's 4 minutes to go. So I wonder if Liquid have checked the timing and are just like, okay, if we get lucky, we will have Aegis and Cheese, and they will still have buybacks on cooldown. And that's what we're going to wait for. Push out the waves, keep farming, build that advantage slowly but steadily, get toward our next items. Kuro working on the Aghanim Scepter would be a really sick steal on the Necrophos ultimate, especially having that low cooldown.
Look at Solo buying up for this. I'm kind of surprised. Like, he's got 11 sentry wards on this Crystal Maiden at the moment. There is nothing which should remain undetected inside the Virtus Pro base. He can almost write GG with the amount of wards he's got. But what he wants is the last little bit of money. It's another 900 gold, and he can actually have his Aghanim Scepter. Bought the other two 1k items already.
Yep.
Of course, the other issue is getting the courier out to the shop safely when you're being sieged up like this.
That is a challenge in itself. That is definitely a challenge in itself.
So refresh, really, GH? He's going refresher onto the Keeper of the Light.
Surprised he went for that over the Octarine, but I guess when you have Hex and BKB and Force Staff being able to refresh these items in particular, and even the Yules, you might feel like, okay, lower cooldown on all my spells plus my items versus having 2 uses on my Hex this late in the game. Maybe the double Hex is better.
Maybe.
Both items are definitely very good here. So wait, what did he replace? He got rid of his Glimmer for this Hex. So Glimmer's out the window for him.
So the other
unfortunate for Solo, all of those sentries are going to go to waste.
Other items arriving is the other Refresher Orb, which is coming the way of the Death Prophet, and it's a Hyperstone for the Lycans. And Batumban looking to increase that attack speed of his.
Moonshard, he even has an item slot still. It's actually very surprisingly underfarmed on Lycan for this state in the game. 80 minutes in, he's not 6 slotted right now. Is there something on the courier for him? No, there's not. He still has room to grow.
He does.
Pretty unusual.
It's because Keeper of the Light's got all the farm. Like, there's just nothing left for the Lycan.
What's the CS on Caudle?
CS for Keeper of the Light is 566 to the 501 of Lycan. So yeah.
It's the 4th most CS on his team.
He's still
and Kuro has 70. He has less than a CS per minute. Oh, man.
Kuro is a team player,
telling.
man.
That is so telling about how this team plays when they have Caudle.
But you can also look at the money over on Kuro. He's now 800 gold away from completing up his Aghanim Scepter. And remember, Kuro's time, like, we can have flashbacks to when he used to play for Na'Vi, and his Rubik play was the biggest controller of anything. He was the best Rubik in the world. And if you give him an Aghanim Scepter, he'll showcase it once more.
There are a lot of good steals in this game as well. Plenty of good spells to steal. Getting the Axe Poison Nova could be nice. Axe Necro ults.
Courier.
Axe Maiden ulti.
Courier, you ain't making that. Especially when you take the straight run. He's almost trying next levels. Like, the Hawk's going to be on the left side.
I think no one is going to buy 10 flying couriers now, and then they can just like send them multiple ways around. So one of them will reach the target. That's one. You can buy more than that. He has 10,000 gold. Just send one to each secret shop, and then Air Force One comes in. Get that drop.
Flying V. If one duck falls, at least there's another one to take his place.
I feel like he should buy more than one. I'm not even kidding. He should buy more than one of these flying couriers, so something can get... They can't reach their shop.
I thought the backpack was against, like, it was meant to counter this. The other option you could also go for, I'm looking at Pasha with his Ghost Scepter. He's lining up at, like, the high-level Dagons. You could even get E-Blade pops into Dagon kills if Virtus Pro want to start focusing down individual heroes. We're reaching the point where that kind of money is going to exist.
It's not going to happen, though, because he needs the Eagle Song, and he can't reach his secret shop. So he's not going to get an E-Blade.
Okay, what? We 5-man out for an excursion. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to go on a trip. It's almost Disneyland, a.k.a. the secret shop just outside of our base.
But it's warded.
Yeah, well, you can smoke under that at least. What are you going to do? You're not going to smoke out and try and fight Team Liquid. You're waiting for them to come to you.
Here comes another cheese. So Matumba's cheese has fermented nicely. We'll see if he gets a second one on top of that first one.
Aged perfectly.
Or he will give it to someone else. Aegis looks to be going the way of Miracle. And the second cheese, who cares, man? Just don't want to bother with that. Just leave it there.
Sorry, they're all lactose intolerant.
Maybe they can bait a courier onto it. Actually, it's going, Toby. It's on the way.
What?
Secret okay, it bought the items.
The courier's coming with the rest of the Aghanim Scepter for Rubik, alright.
Got the items.
He's dropping his TP scroll. Okay, we're cloud9ing this up right now.
I don't know.
Kuro is actually taking
it needs to not die to the creep wave. No.
Oops.
Oh my god.
Oops.
Oh my god. They send it the whole way over there and then it get it intercepted by the super creeps. Oh, that's gonna hurt so bad.
But don't worry.
So that's the Axe of Maiden. There was an ulti orb.
It'll respawn. It's not like Team Liquid's gonna push high ground, Synderen.
Whose ulti orb was it on it? It had an ulti orb?
It was Crystal Maiden's. It's Crystal Maiden's.
No, it was her point booster.
Was it a point booster?
Who had the ulti orb? Who's buying something with ulti orb?
Who's got that queued up?
Maybe Nyx.
It's the Lincoln Sphere. It's the Lincoln Sphere for Bloodseeker.
Oh, so Bloodseeker did want the Lincolns. Okay, good.
Yeah, it was
good.
his.
Good choice. Except he didn't get it.
Here comes Liquid. Lil able to get the first stun. Look at Miracle. He can't even get past the VP logo before losing half his life. The Smite Carapace is helping out as well. They keep the stuns going. Miracle trapped up the side. It puts him down. The range director's gone. Matama just wants to get the mega creeps up. That long push. Good night. Lil got double stuffed all the way back to the fountain almost. The melee rack stays alive. It keeps the megas away. And Matama, he's running off the rupture once more.
That's one cheese down. And Aegis, and Death Prophet ulti.
There's more where that came from. We're going to stockpile in Team Liquid cellar. They keep moving forward again. You got the refresher orb, right? Not yet. They have Exorcism in 35 seconds for Miracle. And defense.
Yep. I do think Liquid are going to get Megas here. I have to say, this feels like a Megas play, but that does not end the game at all.
You know what?
That is not the end of this.
You're one of those people that's just like, you know what, we should just let them have it. I'm going to sit AFK in Fountain. Virtus Pro, they will stand their ground. They will not get Megas.
Oh, they will stand their ground, but they will lose that barracks eventually. But it's not the end of the game. That's what's important here. This can still be defended for a very long time against Megas. Think about how hard Liquid have struggled to even get there. They still need to end the game, and VP's Courier has... Is that the first one or second one? They bought a new one, so this doesn't have the items
No, this is the first one, which is holding 3 Observer Wards from Solo, so he can see the inside of his base even better. He ain't leaving home.
Yeah.
This is a 23-year-old who's just, he knows he cannot get out of his parents' house.
We're not talking about crossing the river in this game. We're talking about just getting outside of the perimeter of the base.
Yep. Okay, well, Pasha, that's one way to do it. Blink forward into a creep wave right underneath the fresh refresher orb of Death Prophet.
Crystal Nova for Rubik. What did he chose 20% cooldown reduction on 25.
I like Kuro's quick buy as well. I think Vision is the name of his game. 4 Observer Wards are currently queued up for him.
Yep.
The Crystal Maiden, where is that courier? It's only
they'll manage to get all the way out here? Wow, they don't do... Who has the gem on Liquid? Rubik and only Rubik. Okay, so Lil walked into the other heroes under Vendetta and did not get spotted, but didn't want to go on it.
I think they're getting a little claustrophobic now, Virtus Pro, but it is a big test of their patience. They know they can't keep Observer Wards outside the map. It just ain't gonna happen. But how long do you keep this patient up? You know, at this point, money means nothing. That 15k advantage for Team Liquid,
Yo, your courier respawn. Use your courier. You worked so hard for this.
It's sitting there. Yeah,
at least get your right.
Well, it sounds like you're going to get the notification. There's too many couriers. Here we go. Aghanim Scepter on the Crystal Maiden.
Nice. All right.
Solo. He actually now can carry team fights with this item.
Major progress. This Lincoln should be bought up now by no one as well. He's running back for it.
Yep.
Get it now.
He's like, well, I could put this on the courier. Okay, there we go. Lincoln Spear is on him. He's going to give up his BTs for it. That's fine. He's got the flutter effect.
Yep, and 290 move speed. Very good.
And, of course, when they get low, he's going to have, like, 1,000 move speed. So it's fine.
All right, here we go again. Never mind. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Wait.
Maybe back
off. Wait. No. They just wait it out. Team Liquid, they can just keep the spam going. They don't have any kind of real pressure. Oh, okay, there's your jump, mind control. Oh, there's the BKB, 5-second cooldown early, so you don't really care too much about it. Ramses, thanks to Smionya, they can actually push out quite nicely. The Necrobooks can try and burn a little bit of the mana off, but they're also the upgraded Plague Wards. Just sending your summons in isn't the easiest thing. Ramses can clean up the creep wave and clean up the summons. In fact, VP, they're venturing forward. They're coming outside their base at the moment. Are they thinking about finding Lycan, letting the wolf form off? They're going in. There's your refresher up on the Beastmaster. He wants a second roar, but Lil keeps him stunned up. Abyssal Blade can go on the Venomancer. Do they just disengage now? You've already got Nyx Assassin picked up by Kuro, ready to throw him back in the middle of the fight. Yulsen will buy him time, and Solo lets it go on Death Prophet. The Eluder will fly through and kills off the Nyx Assassin. Our first kill in 20 minutes. Miracle still wanting to retreat back out again with that buyback from the Nyx. It's hard to force the issue any further. They've burnt many of their abilities. The refresher orbs are down for both of them, but the Exorcism is there for Miracle if he wants to commit the second one.
And importantly, Kuro stole the worst spell in the game. He has Burrow. He can turn into a pile of dirt and do nothing with it. He should at least spam it. It has no cast animation, so you like puff up and down like a mole, and you get magic, you get resistance.
See,
it's something, I guess.
This is Kuro just trying to make Day 9 feel more at home. Welcome to Free Time Lurker.
Yep. One lurker on each team. Classic stuff. Okay, well, Liquid, what's next? So they have their BKB ready on mind control again. Refresher in 2 minutes. He has a Bloodthorn on Beastmaster, by the way. Prioritizing the Sentry Ward currently over the Bloodthorn.
I'm seeing Nyx Assassin prioritizing a TP scroll over the Gem of True Sight sitting on the ramp on the top. Okay, now Lil is finally going to switch the two around.
Good, good. Close to BKB, by the way, on the Nyx. That's a pretty big item here for him to get.
Yep, that actually means that Lil's already been a real nuisance to Team Liquid in the fights. He's stunning it up so much that Virtus Pro are able to disengage from a situation where normally they'd lose two heroes. Then that BKB will also help him now. The Bloodthorn is done on the Beastmaster. He's actually looking at Bloodthorn over going to BKB. Radiant Courier died. Well, that's now the 10th for the game.
Wait, how many couriers are flying around? All right, this is 2 Dire Couriers flying around, and 1 Radiant got killed. So I think VP might need to invest a little bit more into their
menagerie.
Yeah, need to invest more into the Air Force here to get those items delivered. So what else is coming out? Okay.
BKB for Solos. Huge.
That's big. That's a 10-second BKB 90 minutes into the game.
It almost looks worthwhile to sell his drums if the time does come.
Uh-oh, the Hawks saw the courier fly out. VP are changing their minds. They're not sending that courier out. Back to base. Might try to go the other way around along the left side of the map. Maybe they can loop it all the way through the Dire jungle down to their secret shop, and then all the way back around again. That's a pretty dangerous trip, though.
Well, they got time. Venture to the new land,
They definitely have time.
Okay, Kuro, this is just getting ridiculous. But at least for everyone at home who's doing their fantasy, your points should be going through the roof, as every Observer Award gives you points if you've got Team Liquid supports or VP supports. Happy days all around. So Refresher Orbs off cooldown for Miracle. He's actually building into a heart now. So you've got the double Exorcism back. You're going to have double Bloodthorn, double Scythe in 20 seconds for the Beastmaster, and of course double Roar.
All right, don't look. How expensive do you think DP's buyback is right now? How much gold do you think he has to pay?
Okay, I'm going to go with 2.3k.
You looked.
I didn't actually. Oh, they looked at this one. Kuro finally caught out the Scythe. That's 130 seconds.
To stay in base. And look at the creeps.
This.
Nice. Defense. It's actually 2.4k for the buyback. That was a really good guess. 2,390 right now is the cost of buying back in this game.
That's an expensive.
Oh, bottom lane, the roar. They found Pasha.
This is maybe the opening that you can revenge kill. However, Pasha does have buyback. You committed your Refresher Orb straight away from Beastmaster. He wanted to have that roar again with the Scythe and the Bloodthorn. It's a very effective pick-off team from Team Liquid. And in fact, Rubik now has enough money, he can buy back also. You can probably thank that 60 gold per minute talent just helping him get the cash. Solo's thanking his lucky starts as well. He's got 120 gold per minute. This is what's allowing him to get closer and closer towards that BKB while the rest of his cores are taking the farm. We're going to have the first 1k CSer on the board in 5 CS, and that's going to be the Bloodseeker. The top, I believe, is somewhere near 1,800, which was Resolution's anti-mage. Correct me if I'm wrong, so maybe we're actually going to correct every single prediction in your compendiums.
I can't remember how many CS were in that game, but it was like, was it 1900?
It was 18 to 1900. Now the Dagons are arriving. It's a level 5 Dagon up from no one. I'm still waiting for this E-Blade pickup. Necro sitting on 5k himself. Obviously, he needs to save 2.7k to buy back on the Necro. So he can't just buy the Dagon straight up.
Maybe he just gave up on the E-Blade. I guess he doesn't. He never had it in his quick buy, I guess. He just wants the Ghost Scepter.
But never
Aegis
before.
for Miracle,
You know
no
what?
boots.
Is this actually even worth it? He's not holding on to his heart. Like, that's even going to help him more than the Aegis will in these fights, more than likely.
He might be able to force a glyph with Exorcism. And
Just run in, Exorcism up, BKB.
Yeah.
You got your refresher orb anyway.
then you trade your Aegis for a glyph, and then after the glyph is down,
Alright.
you can try to just...
This is it. Rubik will come back to life again. He doesn't have BTs, so he can't just come straight to the front lines unless he wants to buy it up. Instead, he's actually just going to buy the gem. As Team Liquid, well, that creep wave lasted a long time. Blood right, here come the Necro Box moving forward. Lil throwing out the stun, just trying to keep the Death Prophet away. This melee Rax has to survive. They have the fortification available here. Virtus Pro, Plague Wards control from Ramses. He's focusing them onto the Death Prophet, making it difficult for Miracle to get forward. Both the slow plus the damage is enough intimidation to force them back. The creep wave has come in through the bottom. They're losing their shrine, so Virtus Pro having issues with the side lane pressure. Bloodright will manage to get rid of this for the moment. Exorcism, it's got another 5 to 10 seconds left. And Miracle, he's going to back up. The Exorcism doesn't do a single point of damage to the melee Rax. They are really, really good, Virtus Pro, at just getting rid of that. When they can focus on the one lane, getting rid of it.
I think Korra should buy Midas, actually.
Why?
And maybe he should have done it 30 minutes ago. Because when you see the flow of this game, this Rubik could actually be 6-slotted. Now he even has a 20% cooldown reduction talent. He can get rich, man. This Rubik could really get rich right now with the Hand of Midas.
It's like you're investing into the future at the moment. It's like, but the future is 3 hours from now.
That's really deep, Toby.
You're planning.
That really makes you think.
You're planning for your kids' college, all right? Is that something a little bit more like?
The future is 3 hours from now. All right, the creeps are starting to give a lot of gold as well, by the way. So these melee creeps in the bottom lane, these super creeps, are giving about 40 gold each now to Virtus Pro. So even on defense, they are finding a lot of net worth on these heroes.
You look at Ramses, like if you actually just bring it up as well, how much gold everyone's got.
There's a hawk. There's a hawk on the shop. What's it looking for? Maybe it's going to see courier movement.
There's a full Daedalus now from Matumberman. He can't even hold that. He's holding the cheese at the moment. But
he needs that for Rupture.
That's his 6 item slot. He's just going to run it for the top lane and try and beat the Rax out. Get the fortification out. That's probably going to be the easiest way they can do this. Here comes your fight. The Blood Right already forcing Team Liquid to back up for a second. They're Dagoning down all the fake Matumbermans who are running through the top. Lincoln Spear can trigger on the Venomancer, but thanks to the Maelstroms, or Mjolnir, I should say, of Ramses. The creep wave doesn't survive long enough. Kuro can now try and turn the Plague Wards against him, but he doesn't get that plus 3/3 upgrade that Ramses has when he steals the Plague Wards. So they're nowhere near as powerful. Miracle slowed up again. They're able to break through that Lincoln Sphere. The Ruptures continue to burn.
Dagon 2 on Necro. He actually doesn't have buyback. He overbought. 100 gold for buyback. If Pasha just dies without getting a creep now, could be scary.
He's 103 short.
Yep. Oh, there's the Lycan ulti.
Yep, looking for the target. Matumberman wanting to run through the bottom. I suppose he can kill a shrine.
Yeah, any progress is appreciated.
Lil keeps the top lane at bay, so does Ramses. They're basically tasked with holding this line. Team Liquid, do you want to force it anywhere else? You can bring down that shrine. We're now triggering Lincoln Spears with those Dagons. The shrine does more. It's a double force up. Now the Ruptures go to work. Lil hexed up. Real problems when Matoma gets the bash on him. The buyback has to come out from Lil's Miracle, putting the Exorcism forward. They're looking to try and end this game now solo. The Frostbite, he'll let the ulti go. Miracle comes back in range for it, only just on the edge. Solo at least creates clearance. Lil with a nice stun. Miracle so damn low. The mana burn does a lot of work. Well, he's at 2.3k HP. No one. He's looking for even more. The BPB is triggered, and they're going to Dagon out the Aegis of the Immortal. They still want more, however.
This game is hysterical, man.
The top lane Rax intact. Miracle. The Blood Ride. Matolman's going to go back in again. Shapeshifter's back off cooldown. We begin everything once more. There is no Rupture available at the moment for the Bloodseeker. And the Wolves are attacking the melee Rax on top. This will allow Liquid to come in through the bottom lane. Lil burrows under the tier 4 towers in the mid. As Liquid, they are still closer to the base of Virtus Pro than they have been in a long time. And that's just the steps. They really just want to pick off now. It's like Liquid have turned this into like we want to fight solo. May oblige, getting silenced up. Quick force up, gets him back in range to the tier 4 towers. That long range stun, it comes out from Lil. Kuro, enough life to survive. Solo's in trouble. He'll actually go down. Buyback developed with the Crystal Maiden, but the bigger problem is Pasha on the back line. He'll go down as well. Team Liquid, they're currently doing it. They're looking for the kill. Death Prophet is dying, however. Virtus Lycan. No mana really to speak of, but the BT's coming towards the top. Beastmaster, he didn't actually get to the creep. He was going up to the creep and it got killed off. So we cannot get the melee racks. They cannot get the megas.
He got recalled to bottom. Oh, mind control might be thinking, I don't know, Shadow Blade? Do you Shadow Blade in and start hitting the barracks, like come out of nowhere? And
how about he gets his own Necro books? Put them in the back. They just send the Necros mass at the racks to finish it. But the problem is that cooldowns now are so long, by the time they go again, the melee racks will be back up to 100%.
So who bought back? Ramses, Pasha, Lil.
You can watch
Miracle
it all right now.
So 3 for 2 buybacks.
So it started with the solo attack. Liquid thought they could get in, and the Scythe, Kuro, having more than enough life to survive that. But it's the damage that Matoma did, all these buybacks that got forced.
It was 3, I think it was 3 Radiant and 2 Dire buybacks.
It was 4 from the Radiant.
4
Necro, CM, and Nyx Assassin all bought back for the Death Prophet and the Master. So it was a 4-2 buyback trade.
Solo has BKB and 50 gold on the Maiden. That's a pretty big item. Actually, in late game situations, Crystal Maiden can become a very powerful hero. And
reaction from Pasha. I gotta do something! This is Patience. Elimination game as well. And this is only game 1. You gotta remind everyone, this is game 1 of the best of 3.
Yule's in mid from Lil.
Oh, Lil, nice catch off. They get the summon to GH. Pasha comes out and slice!
That's a lot of damage when you reflect a Spike Carapace. With Spike Carapace, when you reflect a full Illuminate with that 200% Spike Carapace damage, and use your Dagon and E-Blades and Scythe, yep, heroes are gonna die. 160 seconds on the sideline for GH.
And that kill.
Oh, when's next Roche, Toby? Look forward to that.
Does it even matter? we're about 50 seconds away from Roshan possibly spawning up.
They smoked out, man. They're going.
This is as far out as Virtus Pro had ventured in the last hour.
They
want to come out for a kill.
They were waiting for the Maiden BKB this whole time, and now that they have it, this is when you pounce. Oh, he
my
failed.
Control. Where's the control? Anthony to get through. Pasha! They're actually stopping with the size mind control refresh it so he can BT once more. He's gonna get out with it. Bull hammer. Back to base though. Back to base. The Lycan units are attacking the melee ranks. Pasha's got it though. Defense, defense, defense.
It's too illusion.
And the Wolves as well.
Oh.
But they came out so far, at least they could look to buy up some items. The fact that Necro didn't finish the E-Blade, he actually sold his Ghost Scepter to get that Aghanim Scepter and the Lotus Orb. They're looking to reflect, they're looking to free people.
And Coddle bought back as well to try to save mind control, but he was actually fine on his own. Necro 3 for Veno.
Yeah, just casual purchase, still got another 8.3k gold sitting in the bank. It's like Ramses already has his TI winnings. But Team Liquid, they look to the bottom lane once more. All 5 heroes grouping up. You don't have the double war cooldown on that refresh roll for 140 seconds of mind control, but you do have the double eclecticism of Miracle. This will at least give them the pressure to push the lane. They're gonna smoke up. And where do you go? The Master once again TPs towards the top lane, but look at Virtus Pro. They're coming out. They're wanting to actually counter that split push, but Lycan, he's right behind them. Maybe they know. Yeah, they know. The Lycan Wolves get scouted out at least, but Lycan inching forward, going for the prey. This time it's mind control. They're all over him, but looking towards the base. Matamaman is attacking the melee racks. He wants to bring it down. Fortification stopping it. Beastmaster's gone for 151 seconds. No buyback available in Team Liquid. Run away!
It was a distraction play. That was on purpose. Mind Control wanted them to try to catch him there so they could backdoor the barracks, but the glyph from VP keeping them in it, and that's a pretty big death. That's 2.5 minutes without this Beastmaster. He does not have buyback. I don't know at this point if VP are even keeping track anymore, if they know who has buyback.
At this point, VP is still going to be actually fearful. They don't have their buybacks for another 3.5 minutes.
You've got to play this 5-on-4, man. You've got to do it.
He's done it again. The spike done. GH has to BKB up, refresh roll. He just wants to TP out, but the damage is too much. But back up to the top, back to the racks. Matamaman, there's no fortification this time around. Megas are achieved. Matamaman under the cover of BKB will run away. But Team Liquid, they've done their damage. They've got the Megas, but they've got 2 heroes without buyback.
They could lose this game right now if VP get a good push going. I think VP are going to all in down mid.
Rapier time, Lycan has it. Finally, Matamaman really feels like a 6-slotted dog. It has to be defense from Virtus Pro. Ramses and Pasha will add the pressure down the mid lane. The ping coming for the tier 4 towers. That's from Liquid to defend the tower. Miracle. Oh, he's BT'd
VOT's cancelled.
Oh. He BT'd onto the creep that was getting killed up by the Blood Right. Now it's just up to Kuro and Tomerman. They jump forward. They're looking for Bloodseeker. They want the kill, but next, a huge double stun, liking up and towards the air. Lil wants the damage, but the BKB. But Tomerman, how much damage have you got? A crap ton, but he's going to go down. The Rapier in front of the tier 4 towers has fallen. Kuro will die with his teammate. No way to run away. He's hiding for the moment. The site will execute him. People dying than the Stark family. Virtus Pro coming to raid the tier 4s. They're brought down one. Team Liquid, it is a 3-on-everyone fight. Virtus Pro, they want to win this. 102 minutes in. Miracle has the exorcism, but it's only going to last a little bit longer. They have the damage output. They move forward. Where's the stun? Where's the control? Lycan now up for his shapeshift. Runs forward. Remember, he's got the cheese. The BTs, they're coming in. The Ancient is exposed for the moment. CM's ulti doing the work. The cheese up for Tomerman, looking for the kill onto no one. That's the one they have to get. The fortress is still fortified. No one will fall down. Buybacks have to be committed. You've still got another 3k life on that Ancient. That's Miracle. They're holding. They're holding. They're doing it. Ramses, he's gone as well. Solo. Oh my lord. No one's BKB. Tries to protect him, but this could be the dieback. This could be the huge moment. If Bloodseeker dies right, it could be over. 4 heroes lost from Virtus Pro. They thought they had it, and yeah, 103 minutes. Team Liquid. It has been a marathon, but they will take game 1. Only one of this best of 3. Thoughts?
All right, go next.
I think we all deserve a bit of a break before we get there, including these players. Virtus Pro, man, they must have felt really pressured. They got the kill, they got the Rapier back, and they tried to go for the GG push. Is that time when you're like, you know what, maybe I got to play a couple of more 103-minute matches just so I can understand what I'm meant to do at this point? We almost cracked the 2-hour mark to reach the conclusion of this game, but VP, it's like they're just all in.
When you reach this point, it's complete chaos, and at some point you just go on 100% gut instinct, and sometimes your instinct is right, sometimes it's wrong. That looked like VP could end the game. I think it would have been a totally different story if Nyx had boots of travel at the right time and stuff like that, but there's no... It's like we could talk about all of these details, but you have to understand the mentality of these players in these moments are like, it's complete nuts. You can't keep track of what's happening any longer at this point.
You really can't, and that is it for game 1. We'll be back for game 2, beverage, break, and more.
This matchup is so hard though for the Invoker, isn't it? The Ogre plus Viper. We played versus, when VP played versus us,
for sure.
We picked Shadow Fiend, and let me tell you, Abba did not have fun playing versus Viper Ogre on his hill. He did not have fun at all.
I think Liquid have a really strong kind of team fight right now, but I do think that VP's laning stage is really strong, and if VP can kind of run them over with this Viper Ogre and this Dazzle, the Necrophos is pretty fine on his own lane against the Darks here, and then they can kind of pressure the other lanes, and if they can get far ahead enough, like far ahead in the early game, I think they can kind of they can snowball that.
Do you think that Virtus Pro needs to double down on that with this last pick, or do you think they need to hedge that?
You think what pick they can pick here? It's
They need some kind of catch. Yeah.
Sanking. Yeah, that was good. Okay.
Was it good? I feel like VP's late game doesn't skill like anywhere close to how Liquid's late game skill.
I think they're not going for late game though.
Yeah.
Do you think? I think they're going for this.
They're just gonna go all in lanes, and I think what Liquid does with Invoker is they play around mid, like they actually would just try lane. Like that's how they played in Epicenter, and I think they're gonna do it again. They have like all the heroes and all the like, all they need for like to be able to trial in mid, and I think Vyron's just gonna sit mid and start just gonna play around bottom and mid with Darks here. So I personally I don't think like VP can actually roll over Liquid, but if they can, like that's their best shot to be honest.
I think Matu wants Ursa here in this game.
Pretty bad Ursa game.
I think he just wants something to solo the Sanking. I'm not sure what else there is.
Yeah, you want to have a core that can just pretty much
I
sustain all
can
of them.
see a Broodmother incoming right now.
For Sanking?
I think so. I don't know. It seems
I don't
like
know about
fine
Brood.
game, man.
No, Drew this game. I think just they just need something to solo the Sanking.
What if they put Brood mid? I don't know. They're crazy.
Oh, they could. No.
Do you think VP are going to help their Sanking, or you think they're just going to leave him alone?
I think they will do Ogre or Viper mid,
And-
Necrophos versus Darks here, and Dazzle Sanking. It's like the old Dazzle Sanking from like last year before TI, like Wings and Navi did this like Sanking plus Dazzle, Sanking plus Chen. If you remember before TI6, I think they're just going to do the same. Like Sanking plus Dazzle relane. But the Caustic did get nerfed quite a bit. But so it accomplishes it. You just push the wave in, so they can't pull on their supports. But Liquid doesn't ever really pull on their supports, so yeah.
So Sumail, it sounds like you think the story of this match is, can Virtus Pro shut down the Invoker? And if the answer is yes, they'll probably win quickly. And if no, Team Liquid will be able to sustain in the late game.
I wouldn't say that exactly, because even if they like shut him down, they have a lot of team fight on Liquid. Like they pick Pistis too. So it's really, really difficult for VP to go high ground at all. And once this game goes like past 35 to 40 minutes, I think it's going to be really rough for VP.
35 to 40 minutes, a danger period for Virtus Pro, but as we've seen with their interesting drafting, they've been able to accomplish a whole variety of interesting wins. And will they be able to tie it up here with elimination on the line? Take it away, casters.
40 to 45 minutes being the danger period, Sin. I don't know. I reckon it's more around the 140 minute is the danger period.
This game will not be 100 minutes. I guarantee it. This will not be 100 minutes.
Okay, but you don't want to rescind that? You're happy to lock it in, Cindy?
I'm locking it in. This game is not 100 minutes, but it could go longer than 30-40. I think Virtus Pro's lineup has still to. I'm a big fan of Liquid's late game overall more than VP's, but we've seen VP pull off some great late game plays with heroes where you feel like it wouldn't be able to defeat the opposing team. I think overall the panel is right. The approach here for VP has to be win your lanes, snowball, take the towers, try to limit the Invoker's impact. I'm not sure about this Void last pick either, by the way, because yes, Liquid's teamfight is now completely amazing, but this is not a hero that has a particularly good matchup against the Sand King. Void actually loses all lanes here. He can't beat Viper, he can't beat Necro, and I think he can't beat Sand King either. It's probably the best one of the three lanes for Void, but neither of the lanes is favorable. Invoker is an awful matchup against Viper, in my opinion, and then you have the Necro against Darkseer. So I think VP are set up here to be able to win 3 lanes if they get the lanes they want.
So the whole concept of Team Liquid's high ground defense is fantastic. Only really pays off if they can get something out of the lanes, but
yeah.
The panel said it as well as you, like running Ogre plus Viper in the mid is something that no one wants to play against, and it's Miracle who's the one who has to do it. If these other lanes don't work out for them, then, well, we may be going to a third matchup and Virtus Pro could just push their way through. No one, if he gets a really good start, if he gets really good farm, he could be that damage dealer to push into the base. They just need the extra pick, and Virtus Pro already looking for one of those. Aggressively moving over, they want to contest Team Liquid's rune. And Liquid, well, they're not even coming for it. Invoker is backing off. He doesn't want to fight this. So Solar will take the first rune. GH, okay, TP is coming in. The double crush from GH. Mind Control will arrive as well. They want to fight this one out. The low life is on GH. Lil is burning. Kuro's doing the work. Lil will actually fall first. And maybe they get more, but GH is done. Ramses is in trouble. Solar wants to get out, but he's body blocked up. That Ogre just doesn't fit through the hole. And Ramses will back up to a double kill for Mind Control. Nice start for a Darkseer to have.
Amazing TP. That was so good from MC to realize that they could pull that off, get those kills. It was a nice heal bomb from Dazzle, but they didn't have enough to get those kills. What this does, however, do is it forces Liquid into the lanes I feel like they don't want. So now the Mind Control has a good head start on Darkseer, which is important, but I think Ramses will have no problem regardless playing this top lane. The mid lane is the Ogre Viper against the Invoker, plus maybe half a Wyvern, and the bottom will be that Sand King versus Void. Now, disregarding what just happened with those first 2 kills, I have a feeling that this has the potential to be one of those 25-minute VP games where if they snowball the lanes, get mech and pipe, and just look to high ground with this Necro and an Aegis with the Viper, it's going to be difficult for Team Liquid. We saw VP pull off a similar strategy against LFY. They did lose, but they were looking very good in that game. And in many ways, Liquid's lineup maybe has some weaknesses that LFY's didn't in that particular setup. So Going to be very interesting to see here.
Yeah, Bailey's had that first little advantage. They're baiting in towards the mid lane, trying to get Sol to come closer. Kuro, Arctic Burn is still on cooldown, and Miracle, well, he's got Sunstrike available. But GH was looking for the wraparound to try and attack this mid.
This lane is very difficult to kill. Both heroes are tanky. Viper and Ogre. You're bringing in the Slardar and the level 2 Wyvern. Without Splinter Blast, he chose to skill the Cold Embrace, so just sustaining Miracle here. While GH is going to run Lil down and make sure he at least gets the bounty rune. So a little bit of a steal here from GH. It's one of Slardar's strengths as a hero, is his ability to do exactly this.
I love this little play from Pasha. He just did on bottom lane. He'd actually forced the salve out from the Faceless Boy because he burrow striked him at the same time. He had 3 creeps attacking, being affected by Caustic Finale. So Matubberman already having to burn through. Like, he brought 8 tangos and a salve, and he's down to 4 tangos on that bottom lane against the SK. Pasha is just the dream time for him. But no one's up a very long way. GH going to try and wrap around through the top. The Arctic Burn will slow him down. Solo, a quick stun as well. He is rather tanky. That's 8 armor they have to get through. But 8 armor is enough when you bring 3 heroes to attack. But then again, it's still taking so much. He almost had himself a secondary stun on GH, which would have potentially given a kill to no one.
It's important that these plays work out for Liquid. They're kind of tri-laning mid and still losing. So, you know, you have to find at least the kills to ensure this Vokra game. He's 6-1 against the 12-8 of Viper. A lot of denies is going to limit Miracle's experience gains a lot, especially with supports also taking some of his levels. And now you see Solo. I mean, he dies. He's an Ogre. Yeah, Ogre isn't too smart, so he's just going to go back. And this time he won't die, though.
Is the ultimate meat shield.
It is the way to play it, though. I think Solo dying like this once or twice is not that big of a deal, actually. This is how he should play. If he forces Liquid to focus this much on mid while the other lanes are going well, then mission accomplished. It's okay to tank a death or 2 on that.
He's got Miracle at 8-1 CS to the 16-10 of no one. You're very happy with this. And Ramsey's enjoying his time up on top lane because Darkseer throws an Iron Shell, but he doesn't care too much. He can keep his lane sustained. GH and Mind Control, they're tag teaming who's going back and who's farming these small little camps. They're getting as much out of the jungle as possible so they can keep up. But the lanes still belong to Virtus Pro. The top 3 networks belong to the top 3 cores of Virtus Pro as well.
I think, so this may sound weird, but I actually think this TP for the double kill in the start from Mind Control was not worth it. I actually think it hurt Liquid in the end.
That's a crazy concept to have.
It is, right? Because you get 2 kills, but you set yourself up for the lanes you didn't want. Miracle has a haste, he's going to be fine, run away.
Taunt as he just runs circles around Solo for half a second.
But this is the dream scenario for VP, is getting these exact lane matchups. If there would have been Darkseer Sand King top, the Darkseer would have had a lot better of a time, and Void against Necro bottom is surely not great, but he could have probably had a similar situation to this overall. And VP are reaping the rewards of once their Darkseer is TP top, he can't come back bottom. It takes too long, so they have to commit to these lanes. Now they have the choice of swapping lanes around if they wish, but for now they seem content to just flat out get out farmed. Like this mid lane especially is an absolute beatdown from no one.
I just can't believe too the Virtus Pro, like we talk about their advantage in the laning phase, and we are focusing on this a lot, but with this early farm, they're going to get the critical items they want to then start the fights, and maybe that's where we look towards the timings of Team Liquid. You're getting a lot of farm on Matubberman, you're going to have that Chronosphere. It was the 5th pickup from Liquid. They wanted the counter, they want the counter team fight against Virtus Pro. Are Liquid going to be ready when VP try and start knocking on the tier 1 towers?
I think it comes just as much down to what itemization VP go for. I really like just the idea of going mech pipe or something like that.
Miracle, he may be dead. Solo's rotating in around the back of the tower. Thanks to the Observer, they know there's not many people there to help. But Kuro hiding in the trees with the Cold Snap. No one. The Sunstrike, he feels it coming and moves direction. He's got a lot of resistance, but not that much. Has to run up the river, and they're all chasing him. A quick verify, gets up the hill. GH, he's got the stun. He's got Sprint coming off cooldown. Shrines available. No one. He can't trigger it just yet. Now he can do it. With Lil arriving, there isn't much mana for them to work with. In fact, both of them, in fact, all 3 of them have practically drive the mana.
Important TP from Lil. That heal saved no one. And GH immediately identified that he couldn't die for that kill, so he backs off and lets them shrine. But it's a good amount of pressure being put here by Liquid. Still, their Invoker is an absolute struggle land. We need to find some sort of way into this game for Miracle, who's currently a full Midas away from a Midas.
He's got double null talisman 6 at the point where he's like maybe, like in 2 minutes time he would have wanted to have that hand of Midas.
That's a good Invoker.
That's a good Invoker game.
In this kind of lane,
this
it's
is like
definitely...
a 14, 15 minute in Midas.
If he gets Midas in this matchup, if you get Midas like maybe 11, I think you're happy. But at this point, that doesn't even seem that likely. If he dies just once, it should be delayed more than that. VP are having a great time. But need to look forward for that big team fight that Liquid definitely do have the possibility of pulling off. Actually, TP in from GH.
Yep, they're looking for their target. Solo was walking underneath that Radiant Observer ward. Support's coming in. Pasha has that level 3 Burrow Strike, so he's going to have the distance to try and escape. But Matubberman goes for the Chronosphere. Solo can land his stun, but with the Sunstrike kicking in, there's enough damage on Pasha. Sandstorms, but the bash! First time lock, 3 points up in from Faceless Void.
Oh, Miracle got
We
the
really
kill.
wanted it. GH is chasing at the moment to find Solo, but it's way too deep.
Miracle really happy to get that kill. He's currently level 5 to the 7 of Viper and can't lane anymore, so he's full-time jungling. That means if those little investments where he helps out with a Sunstrike and maybe an attack or two there gives him the kill, it's very rewarding for him to bring him back into this game.
He's
As
still
far as
sitting
Liquid's...
at 1950 net worth to the 2.8, 2.9k of no one, but you're right, it is a start.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's probably the best that's going to happen for now. As far as the other heroes on Liquid go, they're doing pretty well. Both the Darkseer with the 43 to the 53 is a good result, I would say, in this lane for Darkseer against Necro. Obviously had the double kill to help him out in the beginning, but still lost the lane. And the Void is doing very well on the bottom lane, Matubberman, with a quick rotation for the kill and straight back to farming. So I'm very curious once again to see this itemization from VP. Are we going to see the Greaves mech, or Greaves pipe, I mean, or are we going to see some more BKB-centric, or just heavy stat spot up? Because they have 2 heroes in this game that could actually carry that mechanism. For example, both Viper and Necro could technically get something like that. We could see some heavy stats build from Viper with like Dragonlance Sanjay Yasha.
I can imagine the Dragonlance Sanjay Yasha will probably be a better choice for the Viper, just because he's going to be the one dealing the damage to the buildings and not Ramses. So he's going to need that distance. But Ramses, he's going to go in for Rod of Atos. So it's more of the set item we've seen on the Necros, mainly more on the offlane Necros. But they're going for the control. So if you are going to get these items, it's kill into momentum. The rest of the money will come in once the tier 1 towers start falling for Virtus Pro.
Yep.
My control is still going to try and hold this top. That's the
smoke
Iron
from-
Shell to drag the creep wave down. It's the only safe way to do it without risking his life.
And VP's smoke in mid failed. They tried to wrap around on mid with the Viper and Ogre and didn't find anything. Miracle was very far away from that and just farming up the other side. So not too much coming out of this VP aggression just now. Bottom lane. Matubba thinking about it. He doesn't have Chrono ready.
He's almost posturing, forcing a reaction.
Yeah, he's
out.
scared to TP down.
Well, bring Solo in. They're a little bit low on mana, so it looks like VP will burn the bottom shrine. This is underneath the Observer Walls. This is one. Like, Matubberman knows exactly what he can get away with. Having both of those Observer Walls, watching the Ancients, watching behind the tower, and then another one between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower. Very focused vision from Team Liquid on the southern part of the VP side of the map.
Yeah, now that the Invoker is playing the left side in that jungle, he's probably going to be just fine and safe. If they have any sort of hero scouting there, mainly GH will probably be revolving around this mid area together with Kuroki and try to keep Miracle safe, and then Matubberman is the one who has to play alone. So if he has this kind of information, he should be able to do just fine. Now top tower is being pushed by VP. They got it down to about half, and now Viper is joining. They want to commit for this.
Yep. Liquid have vision thanks to the Observer Ward on the hillside nearby, but it's the choice. Do you want to fight this with an Invoker who's still trying to reach his hand of Midas, with GH who doesn't even have level 6 yet? You don't have that amplification. Even if you do, I don't think he's got a way to get in there and get it off without dying. But GH just running for the bounty runes. So that's it. They're just trying to get the best they can out of the rest of the map. But this tier 1 tower belongs to VP.
Yep, goes to Viper. And he is indeed going for the Dragonlance first. Keeping into mid to defend here. Miracle getting whatever pressure he can with that alacrity. Actually doing a pretty good job at bringing this tower down to half. And now has to back off. And wow, he might actually end up getting a 12-minute minus at this rate. That's pretty damn good.
Even Matubberman was pushing the bottom tower and is forcing Ramses to come down. So VP going to take Ramses off that top lane for the first time.
I think they wanted to anyway, though. Ramses, this is the natural progression for his hero.
They're going mid. The TP in from Matubberman. A chrono up, no one. Guarantee the kill on the Viper, and they're going to get it. Nothing will keep that Viper alive.
5 heroes.
Lil was trying to get there, but it wasn't going to happen. And now they can take the tier 1 tower in mid, so
I don't
Team Liquid
know if
keeping
they
up
have.
with the tower kills.
Are they trying to?
Okay, that is one big tower.
So what I was going to say with this Necro rotation bottom is, yes, it was half forced by the Void, but at the same time, Necro wants to get down here. You've taken this top tower. There's not too much more to gain in that lane right now. It's going to be a thing for later, but now you want to get this bottom tower and start getting into the Radiant jungle. So you want to move your Necro and or Viper down there and start spreading the pressure out on the map. And Necro seems to be getting this top free. It's a little bit of a rotation in from Pasha, but he's not. So Ramses will claim this one. And he is getting very farmed. This is a 12-minute Atos 1 Treads with an additional almost 1,000 gold to boot here on the Necro. Is the big breadwinner of the game by more than 1,000 gold down to the Faceless Void.
It seems crazy when you keep looking at the VP lineup. You wonder just how do they die when they get together as 5? If they have the weave defensively up, then where's the physical damage going to come through from Team Liquid? You try and focus on one target. If Dazzle's not caught, then you've got Shallow Grave causing you problems.
Kuro mid.
Now, Kuro tries to hold himself with a Cold Embrace. He does have the Winter's Curse if he wants to use it, but he'll die anyway. The Scythe will decapitate him as GH moves back to the Tier 2 tower. The Tubberman's in the neighborhood, but he doesn't have his Chronosphere because they burned it to get that solo kill on the Viper. They don't have the team fight control, and VP making the most of it.
It's a very good point with this weave as well to offset the Slardar physical. If they have a precast weave that's ticked up, then the real damage from Liquid... he's going to be fine. The damage from Liquid is mainly the Invoker, who's having a hard game and Bud is catching up. But what if they itemize against this Invoker? What if they get those BKBs or Glimmer Cape or mobility items like Force Staff to try to get out of Meteor and Invoker combos like Ice Wall? Then it's only the Chrono that gives Liquid the opportunity to take fights. And VP, they have the experience, actually. I think losing that game to LFY is going to help them have a better chance in this game because they can think back on that and make sure they don't repeat the same mistakes that they made in that one.
VP are coming for a fight. They're moving towards top lane. Miracle already TPing out. The Tubman's on his way out too. And GH doesn't have his Blink Dagger yet, but will make a break for the tree line and then also start up his TP. Or at least he should. Unless Ramses wants to go for a little bit of a look. Actually going for a kill.
Maybe it's nice.
Pasha wants to fight. He's got Blink Dagger and Epicenter available.
Yep.
Miracle was the better choice from in the mid. If they can keep the vision up, their Observerwood's already got dewarded. Pasha cuts closer and closer. A quick ping did just come out.
Yeah, they have a good read on this. In the meantime, Mind Control is finishing up his mech in bottom. He needs another 150 gold to go, force the TP down from Necro. He's going to TP away himself. He's like, this is what I wanted. Goes back to base, gets mana, sells an item, gets mech. And this helps a lot for Liquid's team fight, of course. As much as we're talking about the defensive items on VP being a good choice, for Liquid's lineup as well, having that extra heal and armor against a hero like Viper can be very nice. And keeping heroes alive against Scythe of Ice. Ramses has bought a hood, by the way. This could be a full pipe that he will. Let's have a look at that. He's just pushing bottom lane with no fear. It's very aggressive posture from VP's heroes, except the other 4 who are behind their tower.
They're waiting for the fight. Ramses can, well, he can't TP him for 37 seconds, but he believes in the rest of VP to hold him back. And they're able to do so. Don't slow down Ramses' progression if it is going to be a full pipe. If it is meant to be that Virtus Pro approach, do you just rack up the auras? Do you look for something along the lines of like Crimson Guard? Do you look to try and just get as many aura buff ups and let you go high ground? Is this VP also identifying the fact that their Team Liquid defense is really, really strong?
This is VP and Frost Dragon.
Oh, Wyvern, get wrecked. Okay, get cursed. Kuro, no, really?
Sick.
Fully.
That was really nice. I think, so Lil has level 3 Sandstorm, and he was the only one not caught in the curse, but he can't kill him by getting out Sandstorm, and Sandstorm deals more damage. And Kuro, very clutch there, cursed to save his own life. That's still a curse expended, and he has to go back, so I think Liquid will be trying to just trade towers here. This bottom tower is going to be very difficult for them to hold without Winter's Curse.
It's mid and top for the bottom tower.
Yeah, but if they get 2 towers, this is
Pasha, Epicenter, prepping up. He's going to blink and get the Burrow Strike. He's going to get it onto Miracle. Miracle losing life quickly, wants to go invis. Ramses, he just kills him. The Sandstorm damage, you said it was a high level. It burns through the Invoker, who was attempting his TP out. Now you've actually got TPs going to the bottom shrine. It's like they're trying to catch Viper and Lil. But that won't happen. TP's already too quick.
Yep, so split pressure from Liquid also saved their tower. They got 2 towers and lost Miracle. I think they should be very happy with this trade. Successfully just getting some more map to farm, slowing down the pace of Virtus Pro by forcing them to defend their own towers, and progressing toward key items. GH Blink Dagger is 600 gold away. I'm imagining we might see a Blink Dagger for Mind Control as well as his next item, so these two can combo up completely. Either that or he gets a pipe against this dire side.
They really are just looking to run at him. That's a Radiance build for Ramses.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, and well, quick pings coming out from Kuro, just pinging the fact that Ramses is now joining the fight. And VP is systematically trying to remove these outer towers. Now, they haven't taken out the bottom one, and Matubman's in the perfect position. Pasha, so close, but he cannot smell the Faceless Void. We don't have that kind of, well, reality in the game just yet, as he cut far close enough. One tree separates them, and now Matubman, he'll time walk himself away from the trees. He's looking for the perfect chronosphere, and he did not have the opportunity.
This is still a difficult tower to push. I think the play here...
Miracle? He doesn't have a TP. 15 seconds before he can use it. SK's TPing over to the tier 1 tower on bottom. They're scanning, looking for to see if he went up north. It didn't happen.
They don't know that he doesn't have TP, and they think he just ran down and TP'd out already, so they're not going to pursue. Miracle will be fine. But yeah, this mid tower is very difficult to push for VP. There's so many good initiation angles from Liquid's side. They can come from multiple. They can flank, they can use smoke to try to defend. The bottom tower is the easiest tier 2 tower to take for the dire side. You just have a better position on the map for them, easier to ward around and cover. So we're probably going to see Virtus Pro go down and try to push that tower soon, but looks like Miracle actually never TP'd out. He's just waiting, and now he's TPing. So basically just wasted a lot of time here. Now,
well, Hand of Midas was already used, I suppose. Hey, success on one front.
Hand of Midas on cooldown, just AFK.
But really good observer was from Virtus Pro.
Yeah,
they have that one up near the Ancients. They can see when Miracle TP's in. They know if Wyvern's going to try and do a wraparound on the mid. And this is giving space for the rest of VP to farm up. That top lane pushes in with the Darkseer Iron Shell, so Sol can farm underneath the tower, but Matubman wants to fight him. Chronosphere is available, but double TPs are on the way. The Sunstrike won't connect, and they have to commit the Chronosphere. Ramses, the extra help, it won't be enough. Matubman starts his time walk away. Mind Control's a little bit too close, but the back will create a little bit more space, as well as the Surge. GH in the neighborhood, they can help out. Viper, maybe he becomes the next target. The Observer Ward sees Matubman TPing down.
The hero VP needed to get that counterplay going was the Sand King, and he didn't TP. They TP'd up heroes without lockdown. And it's a very easy disengage for Liquid's heroes, so they get that kill on the... But they had to expend a Chrono to get that kill on the Ogre. So, you know, they didn't really get any structural damage. VP are probably like, you know, solo, this is every game you play Ogre. And
yeah, how many times have we actually seen solo be that casualty of war, which you're very happy to, like, accept?
That's Ogre life.
It is. It's definitely solo's life. Pasha's still waiting to try and intercept the creep wave. He's got a decent amount of money, getting closer towards that 4-star on him. Problem is, he's got too many enemies there. Maybe not so much when Miracle stands his ground.
They are not smoking though. VP are going to walk under this ward in a moment. That should...
Does Miracle back up?
Yeah, he should back off here.
You got Kuro there as well, and yep, there it goes. Epicenter from Pasha. He commits at the Burrow Strike out. Kuro's nearby, goes for the Cold Embrace. Of course, the Epicenter still goes through it, and they curse up. No one. Can he get the strike off? No, he cannot get close enough to Invoker. They even put down the Sentry Ward so they get the vision. GH has Blink Dagger available, a quick time dilation onto Pasha. And this is just more painful than anything else. They'll all back out.
Liquid are doing a very good job not losing heroes though. Gotta say, only 2 kills for VP, 20 min when they have these lane dominators. It's just Liquid reading the map movements very well and trying to maximize their farm. So even with these winning matchups and with these top 2 in net worth, the Sand King is falling a lot behind the Darkseer. That's just the nature of how Sand King has to be off the map for VP's lineup to function. If he keeps showing to farm, then there's not that much threat on the map for Liquid. So whenever Pasha's farming lanes, they're just farming lanes, and he's not going to farm faster than the Darkseer anyway, so it's not really a win.
You actually see him changing his item build as well.
Veil. Yep.
So yeah, moving himself away from the 4-star, thinking that maneuverability would have been the better thing to start with. Now realizing with the Epicenter he needs more damage, but Matubman needs to live. He's being attacked, the sight's available, but the stun from GH means there's no follow-up damage. But Matubman can time walk it off, not to mention chronoing up the Necro. Sunstrike will be off the money, and this means now Necro still having that Ghost Shroud available. They don't want to fight into this. The back and wall is nice. GH with a secondary crush, Solid taking too much damage. The Shallow Grave from Lil keeping him alive, and now the Meteorite Pash will end up burning, and the curse It's onto Necro. Solo with no one beating him down. There is another Shallow Grave, but the Death Pulse as well as the Shadow Wave giving so much regeneration to Virtus Pro, but it's still 3 kills going in favor of Team Liquid. No one being the big one, standing his ground with that fresh Maelstrom. He's got big DPS. Mind Control protected by the Cold Embrace. Viper doesn't want him, but it looks like he's got no other choice to surge away from Mind Control, and the regeneration will keep him alive, and he'll keep going even further away, backing the wave, and making it so VP had to repair their lanes after the fight.
Very nice play from Liquid to make the fight happen in that position. This is one of the best places on the entire map to play Winter Wyvern. You can fly in from multiple angles. You have the curse that will, the heroes naturally group up in a very narrow space. You get multiple hero splinter blasts, and Kuroki can just sit back and play from the back of that line and very easily get some very nice spells off. And VP again, they're just not finding the kills. It's like they're a bit lacking in the, this is important. So they try to go for this kill. If this kill happens, that's the end of the fight, but the stun from GH buys time. They don't have enough to kill off the Void with this tanky build with Raindrop and Lincolns. And they have to expend their Ogre Stun to break the Lincolns, or rather the Ignite to break Lincolns, then stun, and then follow through with their other heroes, but Sand King is missing again. And now that he comes in, it's too late. The Void already survived, and this curse, surprisingly, Ramses doesn't die here. He actually stays alive miraculously. There he dies.
Yeah. It was only a matter of time, but it's also that wonderful position from Team Liquid. They sit up on the hill and they just look down at Virtus Pro scrambling around, trying to find these kills and trying to force an advantage their way. At the moment, like, we are 22 minutes in, it's a 1k gold lead for Team Liquid. That's pretty negligible. The experience selling a little bit more of the tail, where Team Liquid feel like they're getting more and more control into this game, now having a 4k advantage.
But that's the point, right? Is that if you look at the gold graph, it's like if you're playing against an Alchemist and the gold graph is even while Alchemist is farming, you feel like you're winning the game, because in the scope of the game plan, that is a win. And to me, it's a similar thing here, where if Liquid are only 1k gold ahead, that's great. They're playing against lane dominators in an early game lineup.
Team Liquid,
they're not finding the kills.
Smoking out, Sentry War gets planted down by Solo. They're looking for the Obs now. They will see that if they go up on the hill. But in the meantime, with amplification, Roshan being done by Team Liquid. Pasha's moving over. They'll get rid of the Obs and Sentry. And Liquid, this Roshan is pretty low. They kind of got to commit to this defensive weave from Lil, trying to make sure that VP do not take the damage from Matumberman. And well, Ramses, okay, not sure about that. TP, Chrono catches all the back lines. Pasha bringing in the damage. Burrow Strike into the pit. It's doing a lot of damage to Kura, so there's no curse in this fight. The Darkseer back wall combining with Deafening Blast combo of Miracle. It's done some damage. Only enough to kill off the Ogre Magi. Acceptable casualty. Remember this phrase as Ramses, he stands his ground, set up towards the M. Not enough mana for his ultimate. The Sunstrike, it connects! Ramsey's so low, he's going to steer clear of the Angels before potentially he dies. GH able to surge away. Miracle, not so lucky. No one able to track him down, but Tubberman, all he could do was watch. And now it's Virtus Pro to do all the hard work, or make most of the hard work that Liquid did, taking Roshan.
This is still contestable for Liquid. If they want to try, they can try to steal it with the Snardar.
He's waiting, and he's too late. The jump will come in. Aegis Immortal or in the hands of the Necrophos, and with the scythe, goodbye Slaughter. Execution on public display. Wyvern trying to run back up to the hill, does not have a TP available, so Kuro will have to sit here for 41 seconds with no way to get down. Birds be crippled. This is sad to actually watch, but it was its only.
I find it mildly entertaining myself, personally.
Is that because you relate?
This never happens to me.
Let's have a look at that fight once more. So Ramses, if you're trying to bait something out from Matumba with the TP, but the epicenter comes in the back lines, and the fact that there's no curse in this fight, just
a really nice combination here from Miracle makes that fight look pretty good for Liquid, but they don't get the key kills. The Wyvern being dead immediately, and no one is untouched. That's what's important. This Viper can just play with full confidence. There's no way he's going to die in this fight if they don't catch him in the chrono. Ramses backs off, but this whole fight, no one is just running down heroes he wants, and Miracle is not happy to die to the Viper, and that's it. VP get great fight, and they get themselves an Aegis for Necro, who, by the way, is getting his Radiance after this creep wave. Big item. These fights are long right now. They're really long, and those are the type of fights that Radiance really shines in. You deal so much damage with Necro with Radiance plus Heartstopper Aura over extended fights, and they have the Shallow Grave to make sure Ramses stays alive. And even if he dies, he will deal so much damage before his death, and hopefully for VP get a Scythe off at the very least and secure a kill.
What's going to be even nicer for them is just this aggression they can have. You can see Team Liquid, like you want to go the BTs on the Invoker, you want to start the split push happening, but with this Radiance on the front lines, with no one having the range of the Dragonlance and the damage of the Maelstrom, you can actually see him combining up both the physical and the magical to cause real issues for Liquid in every single fight. He's now going to go for Hurricane Pike, so positioning battled as well, but it's all about the tier 3 towers. They need to start doing chip damage to the base. We're 26 minutes in, the panel put a 40-minute clock on this game, and it feels right. But Virtus.pro, here comes the push. Observer Ward down, they see in deep, an aggressive weave, actually connecting onto 3 heroes. The Observer Ward scattered out the smoke as well, so Virtus.pro knows what's coming, but that's why they put the Aegis Immortal Ramses on the front line. They want to burn out his mana. He does have a lot of one charges up his sleeve. In fact, now, with the pipe, they jump in further. The tier 3 tower is falling. VP, are they happy with this? Can they force more? Where is the control? My control, stunned up on the side. Partial get the forward Burrow Strike. They have the sides available. Protection is available, however, and the Chronosphere maybe catching the back lines. This fight in 3 different pieces at the moment. The back wall is there from top to man. They're able to get the kill onto the Dazzle, so at least that save is gone. But Virtus.pro, they are standing their ground. Miracle needs to do some damage, but can he really do it? He's losing his support. Kuro will fall to no one, and now Matomaman in the middle of the fight. They trigger the Lincoln Sphere. They're looking for more control, and they may just have it. Matomaman jumps away. Remember the battle. No one with his BKB able to battle into GH. He'll bring him down, but more importantly, they're looking towards the mid-racks. Team Liquid, 3 heroes down with no buybacks available, and Virtus.pro, 27 minutes in, crack the mid-racks like an egg.
The absolutely most important thing for VP for this push is really, really great to watch. Their positioning going into that push was flawless. They have to make sure that there is no angle where Liquid can find the heroes that they want. They're just looking for any 2 or 3 hero vacuum, any 2 or 3 hero chrono, any 2 or 3 hero anything. But look at how these VP heroes are positioned. Sand King bottom right, Ogre top right, then you have the Necrophos in the middle of everything with the Aegis. The Viper is not really a target, and Dazzle is standing at the back. How do you go here? Darkseer, he's going to run in, get stunned, can't catch anyone. Get stunned again, can't catch anyone. Now he gets stunned by his teammate, can't catch anyone. Finally the chrono comes in, but it's only the Void dealing damage, so they get 1 support kill. And there comes the epicenter, and they have to run away.
What was so beautiful about that too is the fact that VP actually forced the fight to happen because Mind Control came out. The Faceless Void went for the long way around. Like, he tried to wrap around past where his tier 2 tower was, and that didn't work. But Team Liquid, they're coming out once more. Now, they've smoked up with 5. They do not have Chronosphere, but they want to come from the northern side. Smoke will break. They look towards the back lines of Virtus.pro, as Virtus.pro just do the same thing again. Aegis Immortal Necro on the front lines. They don't have Epi, but they don't have Chrono.
No one is like, come at me, bro. He's just running. He just ran up there with a haste. He doesn't care.
Yep.
Liquid's got to do something now.
Defensively looking for the back line. 8 seconds. 8 seconds until you have it for the Sentry Ward. They see Matomaman. They'll trigger the Lincoln Sphere. Mind Control wants to come out. Get that Iron Shell burn. The fact we're 3-man wall. It could be nice for the side. It does execute Matomaman. They're getting double the time. Walking off with the Chronosphere. It's huge. It catches SK. It catches Necro. The Aegis Immortal. It's going to pop. Matomaman's lost so much life. The curse is on the Viper. So no one standing his ground, but he's just so bloody tanky. They've already turned around this fight. Matomaman, he time walks off the damage, but he can't time walk off all of it. He's still trying to run back out of the cover of Shadowblade, burning to the Radiance, burning to the Heartstopper Aura, and gets hit by the Death Pulse. 3 heroes down. Invoker has buyback, and they're scrambling everything. VP claim a second lane of racks, sub 30 minutes, put on the aggressive weave. All that armor rising and rising. They can go for the GG push and try and force a 3rd deciding game in this lower bracket of TI7.
Got about 15 seconds for the slaughter. They're not going to be able to end the game here, but they'll take whatever they can get. These shrines, just get a little bit of extra influx of money, and then probably get this secondary building. No, never mind. He's just going to back off.
They got everything they wanted.
The economy. And that fight wasn't even perfect for VP. And the scary thing in this game as well, when you think about it, is the panel was saying 30 to 40. I was like, you know, if VP's laning stage goes well, this could be a 25-minute game. If they combine their spells and powers and have an Aegis like this, their laning stage didn't even go as well as it could have. It certainly went well enough, as you can tell, but Liquid played a good game. Liquid has been playing very well this game, and it still doesn't feel like they can stop VP at all.
It's just heal, it's strength, it's everything. We were flagging Ogre during the group stage as the hero that just cannot be killed. And you saw just how much commitment it came from Liquid to kill him off. Then you go against a Viper, so much resistance. Ramses giving the life, they can't get the hits in, fighting underneath Radiance. Then you got Shallow Grave, which from Lil in the last 2 fights hasn't even really been needed. They've got so much just health sustain that Liquid have no answer to it. And they want to have that big combination, but there's no setup. The Darkseer is trying to do it. The Blink Dagger's on mind control. The Matamaman can get that Chronosphere off. But then your damage has to come from Miracle. He's kind of like the last one left to do it.
And the more I watch games of this year's TI, the more I feel like Dazzle is a first phase pick. I think this hero is just extremely good right now. It's winning so many games. It makes it difficult for the enemy team to fight. It makes it easier for your team to rosh. It makes it easier for your team to push. You always know you have that save. You know you have that weave to get a physical advantage so you can itemize magic resistance and just be extremely tanky. And Axe is pretty bad right now, which is one of the classic counter picks to Dazzle. Nobody really wants to run Axe. You can run AA, but VP banned AA in the second phase, and then they picked up the Dazzle for themselves together with that Necrofrost that they grabbed earlier. And it just, he has a full pipe now. Honestly, I don't know how you kill these VP heroes with the Radiant ones right now. Invoker, farmed as he may be, which isn't that great, but you know, you have levels, you have these powerful spells. It's not going to cut it. These heroes won't die. They just won't die.
Good luck.
Yep, pretty much.
But Liquid are not giving up. They're still in this game, which means in their mind, they have a way that they can win. The combination is nice. It just needs to hit the money.
I think at this point it comes down to Liquid finding 3 or 4 hero combinations. 2 hero combinations are not going to win anymore. VP will probably wait for the next Aegis, and then one of the heroes that will expose that Liquid can jump on will have the Aegis, and the other one will have Grave. And they have Pipe, Weave, and lots of heals, so...
Matamaman's looking for one combination up onto top lane.
This is a good approach.
Ramses, if they can find him, but Ramses TPing in towards the mid. He'll group up with the rest of Virtus Pro.
I think this is what Liquid needs to do. Their team fight is great, but they can't just wait for VP to run at them. They have to try to find their own opportunities now, and if it's chronoing for a single core and they get a pick off, that's great. They have to combine multiple heroes to make it work.
They can try. It's a 4-hero smoke gank from Virtus Pro. Ramses not being involved. I think they were hoping he could just let him farm up a little bit more. If he takes his mid farm, he'll have enough for his Octarine, but it's a little bit too late for Ramses.
Could get in the... he's sending down the courier already. He's getting ready.
So Octarine core, Radiance, Atos, Hooded Defiance, Blink Dagger, and Treads on a 33-minute Necro.
So much heal. It's coming in now.
Yep. Unbelievable. Then they have the amplification from the SK with his Veil of Discord. You can look towards Roshan. Viper's pumping out a lot of damage now. He's picked up an Orchid as well. A lot of early items which can transition into other items later on, but it's all about that presence the VP can get from their gold right now.
He can solo kill the Invoker now. It's a really big item. He can pike into Orchid, ulti the Invoker, and just start hitting him.
Liquid are coming. Liquid they have to try and contest Roshan. It's this or nothing. If they lose this fight, the game is done, and they know it. So GH wants the target, blinks up, gets the crush. It's over on Lil. Glimmer Cape will allow him to escape. Ramses wants to blink down as Faceless Void looks in the pit and realizes no one is there. Is Kura getting caught out in the mid lane? The Orchid is out. The Scythe will execute him. 75 seconds without him, and the bigger pickoff is Matamaman in the river. A time lock can get him up the hill, but still the control is so much Tornado. It can actually create space with the Chronosphere, but the damage just doesn't exist. GH is locked at the tree line. 3 heroes gone. This could be the game. Liquid needed the fight. They needed the win. And right now, VP can just go mid and take the tier 4 towers. They will be safe, however, and turn back for Roshan.
Might as well just... This is a really important game, so make sure you build that extra advantage before you go high ground. I don't think VP feel like this game is going to get any harder in the next 5 to 10 minutes. With this Aegis, the next fight, if anything, should be easier than the one they just had.
Especially when Liquid
are on. It's great, but it's far away, man. They need to go real late to beat this VP lineup.
When Liquid can't even find kills, like, you want to hit a combination. They got the best one they could. Nice Sunstrike onto Ramses. But watch this man just heal. 38.7 a second. That's not too shabby. Miracle, at least can EMP burn him out. Ramses, he didn't actually take the Aegis Immortal. That's in the hands of Viper. The cheese is also in the hands of Viper. Ramses, okay, I know you're strong, but let's not 1v5. Burrow Strike in from Pasha, trying to catch out mind control. Already the force up, getting him further away. Viper having insane attack range, and Matamaman needs to do something about him, and he knows it, but it's an Aegis Immortal Viper. With Weave already kicking in, his armor just keeps racking up higher and higher.
And he's skilled the attack range talent, so this Viper has an attack range of, what's that, 790 with Bloodlust. In comparison, the tower has 700, so no one can actually hit the tower from outside its range, which is this.
Are we looking at Sniper?
And he's flapping his wings pretty fast, I gotta say. This is very impressive. That's really... Don't do that.
That's what it looks like, man. He's going too fast for a natural Viper. And they're trying to stop him. There goes the tier 3 tower. Mataman's even having to time walk just to get rid of it, and he gets hit by the weave. So is no one, so that armor once again starts its climb, trying to repair the damage that is done from the amplification, and no one is just bait. They want Liquid to initiate, they want Liquid to use abilities on him, and it's not happening. The Burrow Strike, Wyman walks out way too far, the Scythe will kill him off, the Chronosphere is beautiful, catching 3, Miracle, do you have the damage? Well, the Necro is down, at least they've got a chance to do this, but now you actually have Viper back up again. Necro moves to front lines, Slana gets pushed away, but he'll go down, and it looks like an inevitable win here for Virtus Pro. Pasha lacquering on the epicenter, they reveal Miracle with the dust, 4 heroes gone, and GG well played. We will go to a third deciding game to see who will stay in TI. Will it be Virtus Pro or will it be Liquid?
Very well executed strategy there from Virtus Pro. I think Liquid still played a good game. They got the combos off that they could. They had good movements in the early game, barely got killed, played the lanes pretty well considering what VP's matchups were. But this kind of strategy in this patch, we've seen VP have great success with it. Just these tanky heroes with the backline keeping them alive. And even with all of this damage that Liquid have, it's still not enough, man. Like, these heroes just don't die.
Yeah.
You got to prepare for this for the next game as Liquid. I'm not sure what the key bans are going to be, but they might change it up a little bit. Maybe get themselves something like the AA or something to prevent the healing strategy that VP just ran.
I'm wondering if they also look towards that Necrolite. It seemed real problematic having a hero on the sideline for over a minute. Every time that gank worked from Virtus Pro, it opened up the opportunities for
strat, the Shake Your Fury on. They love this strat. They picked it a lot in the group stages of this tournament. What GH is going to do is going to abuse the Fisher mid lane. And the thing about Furion as a hero, he's really strong in the lane now. Like what Pyke
Battle. Seems like everyone always regrets this.
Surprisingly, they didn't ban the AA. I think the reason why Keeper was so successful in the last series was that AA was banned out both times, but Virtus Pro haven't been favoring it too much, but it could be a counter versus the Mass Heal and the Necrophos.
That's true. They ran this the last game. It's a really strong lane. Beast goes PMS, and you just keep the waves constantly pushed in. And yeah, so they picked the Nyx versus the Coddle. Obviously, he's quite good versus Coddle mid-game because it's hard to farm. But I think it's the same problem like that these teams face. They pick this hero to stop the Coddle from farming, but he gets farmed regardless, and then you're the one like chasing around the Coddle. And then, like what Ben and PJ said earlier as well, like then they pick these like annoying-ass heroes, those annoying heroes that are hard to deal with.
You can say annoying-ass heroes, it's all right.
Sorry.
Banning the annoying-ass Broodmother, of course, Sven. Both Sven and Darkseer are chucked out for Team Liquid. Sven, first ban, really does not want to let Ramses get on that hero.
So I wonder, now Liquid has first pick, so they're going to be able to see the core matchups and counter pick that VP pick. And this is where just like Liquid's draft is kind of open. Like they can pick anything because Beast Coddle is just hard to lane with as general as a carry. I don't really see. I mean, PJ, what carry do you think? Because you have CM. I think she's a really weak safe lane support now.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious. What do you think about CM as a character? Because we've been seeing more and more of her as the tournament has gone on.
I think CM has gained some popularity amongst the teams recently. I feel everyone thought that the hero would be pretty bad going into the tournament, but I think it's a reliable hero. Like you know you're gonna have that aura. You know it's gonna enable a lot of your heroes. This Nyx, he can go around. He can use a lot of his spells. Many of these mid heroes, they really benefit a lot from this aura. And it's also nice that you can kind of just walk around in the jungle and get yourself a lot of farm. So yeah, Maiden it usually, I think, becomes like one of these popular picks that people go back to because it's so it's clear cut what you do with the hero.
10 seconds remaining.
We see pretty much all the bans on Virtus Pro are, I almost want to call them Team Liquid bans,
So this
and less meta bans.
VP, when their game versus LGD, they kind of did the same concept. They picked the CM and then the stun. They had Night Stalker the other game, and then they keep killing the Coddle lane. That's how I approached to playing versus Liquid's offlane duel. The CM didn't really jungle. He just stayed in lane with like 3 clarities, and they kept killing the. It wasn't Coddle, it was like Lich, but I think that's their approach with the CM. I think they're gonna keep trying to kill the duel lane.
Do you think that Liquid are just gonna stay dual lane, off lane?
I think they will, because I mean the Coddle has no other really place. He always plays duel lane, and even if they die there, they're gonna keep 3 heroes there. And then this is a really good core matchup, the Lycan versus the Venom. And I think this is both Ramses. They all actually play this hero. I think all of them. I've seen them all play this hero at one point. Like Pasha's played off lane. No one has played at mid, and Ramses has played at carry.
Venomancer has a lot of flexibility of
this
what
Lycan
lane
pick,
you
though.
assign him to.
This is a really good Lycan pick.
Liquid have a really strong vision game this game. They have good push and they have nice vision. And the Night Stalker is gone. One of the counters to Beastmaster and Coddle as well is that Night Stalker, but they took it out early on.
Necrophos and Venomancer. Not a huge fan of VP's draft right now. I feel like both these heroes can't deal with the Lycan. I think this Lycan looks like a free game right now. He doesn't really have any counter. I think maybe they want the Necro versus the Lycan in lane, but Lycan has really high regen because of his aura, and he's just going to keep farming.
You know, Merlini, there was a lot of talk about how important this 4th pick is, this 4th and 5th pick. Team Liquid is going to get, or actually going to be forced to, close out their draft. And looking at what you're seeing from Virtus Pro, what do you feel like is missing from Team Liquid? What do you expect to see them be picking into?
I think Kuro is going to pick himself. Oh, sorry, were you asking someone else?
It's okay. You can go ahead.
Okay. I think he's going to pick Spirit Breaker or Tuskar, one of the two. He wants to play a hero you can run around with. And then, yeah, he just likes playing heroes that he doesn't really get farm on, because GH takes a lot of farm on this team.
Do you think there's any other better cores that they can deal with the Lycan? You said they can't deal with the Lycan very well. You don't like Venom, you don't like Necrophos. I think like Sven and Bloodseeker are the common counters. Do you think there's anything else that's good that's left in the pool that they can pick?
Maybe Chaos CK is decent. I'm not sure. That's like something PJ should know. I'm not sure. Like this hero kind of came in this tournament. We weren't really picking it that much, but as soon as I saw EG picking a lot, Liquid picked it a lot, and then like IG picks it. So I'm not entirely sure like what owns this hero, how he plays entirely.
Yeah, I think in general these illusion-based heroes are pretty strong against Lycan. I think one hero that could potentially work for VP if they manage to kind of lane the Veno and Necrophos elsewhere, I think TB could be a good hero. It's really strong against both Beastmaster and Lycan because when you use Reflection, you get both the auras. Yeah. And also TB is one of those illusion heroes with a lot of armor, so he matches up really well against Lycan and Beast.
True.
They do have last pick, but let's see what Team Liquid goes for.
Other hero. So he wanted himself on like a roaming 4, and this is going to be a Rubik 4. I'm not entirely sure about the hero this game though.
I like Nullfield here. Nullfield seems pretty good.
I mean, Rubik is really good versus the Nyx and the CM somewhat later on, but he's really good versus the Nyx if you can steal the stun.
We emphasize a lot of like Sven and his armor, but they don't actually have that much physical damage on the side of Virtus Pro at all.
VP has a really strong early game though. They're like laning stage into early game, and like early mid game is pretty strong. They're gonna have a lot of spells, and it might be tough because of Team Liquid. They rely kind of on their cooldowns, right? Like right now they don't want to keep constantly fighting. They want to dodge fights and they want to move on the map and kind of just farm, push lanes and farm, because they rely a lot on this Beastmaster's Roar, I think. And other than that, they only have Rubik 1 lift, so fighting for them is going to be a little bit difficult in the early game.
Yeah. I really like the Necro pick, like thinking about it again. This was the same kind of idea that Secret had yesterday versus Liquid, or 2 days ago. It was you pick the Necro versus the Coddle, and then the Necro doesn't care about harass. You just keep healing off the creep wave.
As Team Liquid closes out this draft, I mean, there's a lot of push on Team Liquid with Death Prophet Ultimate, Lycan and Beastmaster, and of course Coddle with the Ags in the day.
I think what does Solo need now? Something.
I wouldn't mind AA, dude. AA versus these heroes with no save.
So you think it's a offlane Nyx then?
I think they just need something like
I
that.
feel like they need a tower hitter.
Yeah.
Tower hitter, and
I think Viper is a pick.
Viper against Lycan though is a little bit, he's a bit
They have no
clunky.
stuns. I'm not sure what else though.
Virtus Pro played a great Viper game yesterday.
Maybe Dragon Knights?
DK could potentially work. It's a pretty bad matchup up against DP though in the mid lane. So
They could put the Venom mid, and then they could put the Necro offlane, and they can pick another carry.
yeah, that's what I was thinking they might do if they wanted to go for that. You know, something like the TB or another illusion-based hero. Potentially, you mentioned the CK earlier.
Those all seem very slow, though, I think.
Yeah.
Versus this push. You have like 3, 4, 3.5.
I think they need to use one of those heroes and kind of use the fact that they have illusions to fight early on, because it is kind of hard for Team Liquid to deal with illusions right now. They don't have that much good AoE to spam down.
Venom is one of the better heroes versus Death Prophet mid. The matchup. DP can't take Venom's tower that easily. Let's see what hero this is. Okay, yeah.
Bloodseeker.
This is carry.
So that's one of the heroes that people like picking against this Lycan now.
Okay, yeah.
Well, with that, looks like no one is actually on Bloodseeker, and Ramses is on Venomancer. It's a push-heavy composition from Team Liquid, but of course we've seen VP play in a very universal style. Let's get into game 1 of VP versus TL.
Two teams both could easily make the grand final. At least that's what we all thought when this tournament kicked off. But now it is elimination time. One must go home and the other can progress through that lower bracket. So far we've seen the draft send. Who do you lean towards?
I like Liquid more in this one, I think. The VP lineup seems very fragile and not with too much control, whereas Liquid has this style that they really like to play. They got their Coddle, they have a very teamfight oriented lineup. I think if VP don't get off to a very good start where they put the pressure and they just let GH play his Coddle and get that Ags, I have a hard time seeing this Virtus Pro lineup defending their base actually. So
even with the fifth pick Bloodseeker, like this Bloodseeker pickup, you think of it like as the Broodmother of the Bloodseeker, both were also flagged as that fifth pick, which we just can't deal with. Is it something that Team Liquid can deal with what they've got? Or is it just they're going to miss the timing?
I think the Bloodseeker was one of the better picks for VP in this game. I think you want to try to combat this Matumba Man Lycan by getting that Rupture out, obviously, but yeah, it was pick here. I was standing here with the same feeling, like what is actually the solution on this fifth pick for VP, but I'm looking forward to being surprised. I'm definitely leaning toward Liquid based on draft, but VP is one of those crazy teams where sometimes they just take off, and in some ways, in some games, it feels like it doesn't actually even matter what heroes they're playing. It just matters that they're comfortable and that they're playing quickly and playing with confidence. And if they can get that rolling, they could still take this game.
Well, you can say no matter what heroes they're playing, no one's actually grabbing this Bloodseeker. He's going to take him towards the mid. There was speculation about where the Necro would end up. It's in the hands of Pasha, Mr. Offlaner, but Solo's the one who's in real trouble, running away from the Liquid. Can't get mind control. Will spill the first blood. And this is meant to be a strong safe lane. They put Ramses onto the Venomancer, the man who's meant to be safe and away from the aggression of Team Liquid. But Team Liquid are down here in force.
Any tri-lane with Rubik and Coddle is very strong for aggressive moves. The reason being you obviously have the lift into the Illuminate, and one of Rubik's problems in the early game is sustaining his mana when he's playing these kind of lanes, but you've got the Chakra Magic to take care of that. So they complement each other very well. I think it's an option Liquid have at least to try to play this, like not necessarily as a hard aggressive tri-lane, but as a pseudo aggressive one where they're like moving Rubik in and out and playing the Coddle and Beastmaster together. But for now it looks like they have other plans. They're heading up toward Matumba Man.
Well, you've already secured the kill on the bottom lane, so you go towards the top, a place where Pasha may not be expecting the attack, and Kuro can just start once more. Pasha's on the run. Kuro trying to get in range for Telekinesis, able to pick him up and grab him down. Illuminate is available as Pasha into that Ghost Strike, gets hit by the Illuminate GH. Pasha very, very low. He has only got tangos, no sticks. Very far, will give him a little bit more life up the hill. No mischance, but Tom, one poor swipe will do the work. And Team Liquid off to a dream start with 2 kills before the creep waves even meet.
This is such an unusual lane movement that there's no way Pasha saw that coming. Like you said, they go all the way from bottom to top with both supports, and they were not crossing through any wards that VP had placed, so no information available for Pasha. And not only do they kill him, but they made him go Ghost Shroud level 1, which is not really the ideal spell you want to have. Possibly you want to start out with Death Pulse if you can, so a little bit of a lane advantage from Matumba Man as well, based on that.
Well, it's nice for him. A lane which is going to be, well, not much of an advantage for Mind Control is going to be that bottom lane. Lil currently staying down here, just trying to harass the Beastmaster out and make more space for Ramses. Ramses DPS-wise just going to win this lane out. No way the Plague Wards can be taken over by the Beastmaster balls. But when does the rotation come towards mid? Nyx Assassin has been known for really causing problems in the mid lane. At the moment, Lil's just trying to cause problems for GH. Don't let him abuse the pulls. Don't let him abuse the stacks.
Yeah. Keeper of the Light, however, is a very fast hero. He gets Howl. He's actually going to hit Lil pretty hard here. Just keep running at him. And knowing that Lil has mana burn means he can feel confident to use Illuminate at any point in time he wants. Pasha's just being forced out of top. This is scary stuff for Necrophos. I think this hero is very good in certain situations, but is a bit snowbally in nature in that offlane position. If you get forced out this much in the beginning, they might need to help him as well. It just seems like Lil has a lot of problems to solve right now while they have solo jungling on that Maiden.
Is the pressure actually on Lil to solve that offlane, or is there something else Pasha can do?
I don't know, man. He's level 1 with Ghost Shroud. Where's he supposed
I don't know.
like,
Is it just pull lanes? Is it just go jungle? But yeah, you can't jungle without Death Pulse.
This'll come in handy.
It's like Nyx Assassin again. Just going to push GH away. He's fine with that. Level 2, minute 2 runes. Just easily shared up, and everything else been pretty passive after those first 2 kills.
Mid is going very well for no one, though. So that is the good news for VP, is that he is destroying Miracle on CS, and Lil is going to be annoying again with mana burn. He even has Maiden more. He's going to be able to keep doing this. Bottom lane, actually, GH is in death.
Oh, yeah, he's totally gone. Ramses hits him with a Gale. The slow is out, and Keeper of the Light, for all that movement speed you're talking about, unable to escape a Pasha on the top lane, running back behind the tier 1 tower. But Howl again triggered off. Kuro and Matolman having more than enough damage to find the kill.
The way they got the kill bottom was they galed and then
Oh,
had
solo.
Mixed Illusions. Yeah.
Now they're going bottom. It looked like GH and Mind Control thought they had an opening on Ramses. With that Howl bonus damage, the Illuminate as well as the Axis connected. Ramses into the tree, trying to run away from the boars. The Illuminate connects on Ramses. Further into the trees, the Frostbite holding Mind Control in position and bringing him down. While no one making the most of those low HP heroes attacked into Miracle under the tier 1 tower. So Miracle having to burn his Spirit Siphons already.
He benefits a lot from these fights.
Oh, is Pasha dead again? Under the towers, they just keep going. So they don't care about whose home is what. But Kuro, they need to find Pasha. He's already triggered the Ghost Shroud, moves himself up. One more attack, maybe now with the Death Pulse. Pasha has the life, but Talman cannot keep the attack going. They've lost the creep wave, and Kuro will take considerable damage from the tier 1 tower.
Pasha just got his level 2 from that melee creep dying.
Oh, wow, no one? Okay, when you're low, no one just gets massively buffed. And continues to pressure Miracle every time. It's like the second we have a fight, we have a secondary camera just looking at no one and seeing what he's doing.
Force the rotation from Kuroki into mid. I think that's a good defensive TP. Miracle was in a lot of trouble. No one will be getting level 6 very early as well, and then he can start forcing Miracle to TP out. Doesn't really have many good defensive tools against this Bloodseeker. You got one Siphon, that's not gonna keep you alive against this massive damage that Bloodseeker has if he Blood Rages both himself and you. So, gotta be careful here, Miracle. He's gonna get some help from GH. Maybe just spam out the lane, his Max and Crypt Swarm. Just be getting his farm that way.
Lil and Solo are preparing for a fight on bottom lane. Thanks to their Observe Ward, they got closer towards the tower. The Gale won't connect from Ramses. That may be enough. The Mind Control feels he can come forward, and it was. The Illuminate connects. You do have that follow-up stun from Lil. Is there enough damage on Mind Control to get the kill? No one said it's going to be Team Liquid, turning their attention towards Solo. He makes a break for the trees. Regeneration's up, but so is the Hawk. They get the vision. The Illuminate spam from GH continues to hit multiple heroes from VP. Mind Control wants to TP out, but Lil has his stun available. And GH, fighting underneath the Plague Wards, is forced back to his Tier 1 tower.
Liquid are taking a lot of advantage of Howl, though. That pretty much this entire play was set up by having the Howl to delay the death of the Beastmaster and get that extra damage in. And they're playing, remember, they're playing this lane 2-on-3 and they're finding kills. So I think Liquid are very happy with how this is going. Even if Mind Control dies a couple of times, that just means space for GH, and that generally isn't a bad thing that the Coddle gets a bit of farm.
Kuro just put down 2 Observer Wards. The first one maybe scouted out by Lil just because he found Kuro inside the jungle. The second one he played it right underneath that Radiant Obs. So highly likely that middle one at least won't survive. But it's important for him to understand when the gank is prepping for mid. With Rupture up on no one, there's a lot of kill potential there. And Miracle, even pre-shrining just to make sure he's going to be okay.
Here comes the move from BP. Let's see if they can find anything with this 2-hero smoke. Crossing in toward middle. No one is definitely ready. Yeah. No TP on the Death Prophet. Lil's be in a lot of trouble.
He says
here.
They know it's there, but Kuro, the pickup is down. He doesn't actually stun Lil, but Rupture locking Miracle in position, forcing Matoma to actually go into Lycan form, and they're going to charge themselves forward to the Tier 1 tower. With Rupture already triggered, they know no one cannot instantly counter Matoma's early aggression, but do they really want to go underneath the tower? You've got that plus armor increase. for the Radiant side, and well, this rotation ends for naught for Team Liquid. In fact, it's more space for Pasha to farm top lane.
He's going to be very happy that this happened. He's having such a rough game, but finding some much needed space. This rotation from Matumba Man just flat out a waste of time. Maybe he did repel them at least, so he made VP back off, but probably didn't have to use a shapeshift in that situation. So the ultimate will be on cooldown for more than a minute, and that gives Pasha the safety top to still stand here with 1/3 HP.
Oh, that safety is gone. If Kuro, does he want to? Actually, they don't have the creep wave again.
They can't kill him anyway.
It's like Kuro's just waiting around the shrine, which hasn't been burnt yet, just to mess with him. And yep, there's Pasha. Shrines it up, and Kuro walks away.
No one. It's so many creeps. And Miracle's getting mana burn. You know, this is so annoying. It's actually so annoying. Playing a mid-intel hero against Nyx, and Miracle has to go all the way back to base to refill his mana. GH is sticking around that bottom area and trying to get himself a game as it looks now. At level 5, we'll be starting to farm up some jungle probably fairly soon. Has a double stack on the top right camp, might triple that and then start getting that under control.
I'm interested to see if he'll have the farm time. Ramsey's having this early Blightstone, a mass amount of Plague Wards, continuously pressuring the bottom lane, is keeping GH's attention closer towards the lanes.
Beastmaster's pretty good at dealing with this though. These boars do decent damage to the Plague Wards, and he has his own way of like taking care of the wave. So while Ramses is keeping them busy, look at these boars go to work. It's actually a pretty significant amount of damage.
It's a lot more
do they
damage
outrange the wards, or do they have the same range? Okay, the wards actually outrange them, so he can't just take them from a distance. There's a 600 range on the wards and 550 on the boars. So he can at least fight back, but Mind Control is easily holding his own here and getting good levels and farm in comparison to the Necrophos, who's still struggling quite a lot more.
Yeah, severely underestimated how much damage those boars do, and every single Plague Ward just goes towards the strength of Mind Control in the future. But you still are going to have the other issues. The top 2 net worths belong to Virtus.pro. The Venomancer plus the Bloodseeker. Lycan slowly moving forward in his items. Is the Necro build actually going to be the biggest impact in the fight, or is this just the standard progression now for him?
I like the Necro book. I think if you want to play it, I don't want to call it a timing push lineup, but it's very clear what Liquid's game plan is.
Oh,
and Necro book is great for that.
Kuro's making the decision if he wants it or not. Mind Control is actually going to roar it so it stands exactly still. Let the ball finish the job. There was nothing on the Courier. But it's Courier for solo. Necro actually TPing over. They want to try and find the kill. Lil's rotated in from the east, but Mind Control, he backed up at the right time. So Lil's stun will not connect. That's a big man to do such fancy footwork.
A nice sidestep here from MC. Had the ward in the area, of course, to see Lil moving in. So had the information he needed to go for that, and it's another rotation from VP that doesn't really do too much. Now Solo has rotated top to
He's got help.
Matumba Man.
Actually, no one's still actually farming the creep wave. We're not initiating out. Here comes your TP from Nyx Assassin over towards the mid lane. Kuro still sitting behind the tower, waiting for that exact TP point. So Lil standing his ground against the Death Prophet with Spirit Siphon, already burning his Spike Carapace, hides in the trees, doesn't have a way out of this. Miracle's not going to chase him in. Thanks to Ramsey's and Pasha's rotation, in fact, Team Liquid will back off from the tier 1 tower.
They got half a tower. I think he was hoping to get a bit more than that. If he got the Nyx kill, maybe they could have committed for the full thing, or at least forced the entirety of VP's remaining team to come in, but they defended with, I guess, a grand total of 4 heroes here, while Ramses is still farming the jungle, closing in, actually has the gold for Force Staff now. I'm just wondering, you know, we were talking about a VP going to go for this early aggression and bring it to Liquid and force them to fight. There's not too much happening from VP. It's a very quiet VP game so far, 10 minutes in. And it's just favoring Liquid right now, in my opinion. They're progressing their game plan so well. GH is level 7 minute 10:30. Mind Control level 7 too.
This early push we were waiting for from Team Liquid, maybe that's what VP are just waiting for. This is the other side of the coin. Yeah, they're not getting aggressive themselves, not putting Liquid on the back foot. But critical items will start to arrive. 4 staffs all round is what you're really looking at. The high movement speed from no one, the 4-star from Ramses, the 4-star from Pasha. It's like they're trying to outplay Team Liquid when the fights begin.
The tricky thing against a team lineup like the one Liquid has is, are you going to get the fight? That's what we've seen from Liquid in the past when they have these heroes, is that they're actually just hitting your buildings and you have to go in, and they kind of decide if they want to fight you or not. They always have this option to more or less disengage with blinding light. They can recall heroes around the map and dodge you and split push. So while it is true that VP are getting these mobility items, I'm just not sure if it's gonna cut it here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait and see when they try to put them to use. Ramses gets some information here. There's a TP from Maiden.
Yeah, they're trying to defend against a fairly decent amount of push, but as you said, Mataman's still farming up top lane, working towards Necrobooks. Liquid won't really force a heavy push until they have a point of exorcism, which Miracle will be happy to expend. But more than likely that's after Tier 1 towers dropped. And Lycan has his Necrobook. So VP, they're on the move. Kuro's nearby. He won't break the smoke of Solo and Ramses. In fact, Solo putting down the Observer Ward. This is seen. Thanks to the Observer Ward, which is already down from Team Liquid, they see the their Radiant Observer Ward being planted. So they can get rid of this nice and quick. But maybe they don't want to reveal it just yet. Ramses, he'll connect on the Gale. GH. Decent amount of life being taken from him, but it's only a level 1 Gale. It's more the Poison Sting doing the work, and the Rupture on Kuro just wants to get outside the Blood Right, able to do so, and Ramses into the fight. The Raw, however, controlling Lil. He gets ripped apart. The rest of Team Liquid rampaging forward. It's Ramses trying to survive. He doesn't have Nova, he doesn't have his big ultimate, and he doesn't have a life. Miracle claiming a double kill and hunting for more. His dog senses. Sensing the Crystal Maiden back into the Tier 2 tower. Miracle's got the Spirit Siphon going to work. GH in the neighborhood. The Illumin's just taking care of the creep wave for the moment and the Tier 1 tower. But a terrific chain of events for Team Liquid.
Starting to build some pretty significant advantage. Oh, GH, gotta be careful, man. He got rooted up by the Ancients. Oh, he's fine now. Bit of a Poison Sting, but he will survive this. And VP try to make the most out of a bad situation here by rotating to top and seeing if they can do some structural damage here. Actually going to find Miracle.
That's a huge situation. No one's got all the movement speed in the world.
Tower is under attack.
That's very difficult for a Death Prophet to repel.
That's the nice synergy between Bloodseeker and Venno, is that even when Venno loses the fight and dies, he will still do a good amount of damage and no one's just on a bit of cleanup duty.
Run, Ramses, run. You just put down a Plague Ward and saw 4 players from Team Liquid approaching your bottom Tier 1 tower. Heavy information and doesn't lose his life. And the trade-off is the fact that no one can take the Tier 1 tower on top. Very close to finishing up the S and Y. It is his first major item.
It looks like VP are going to continue the pressure here as well up top. They realize that this bottom tower they simply cannot defend. Ramses is trying to delay it a little bit, but at the end of the... yeah, what are you going to do? Goes down, and okay, VP did not...
Here's the TP. Pasha's TPing in. Maybe they feel
really?
they can do this. You can force staff into the Nova, but Team Liquid are backing up. They're also uncertain if, like, with this presence of Ramses, they don't know exactly if Virtus Pro are properly committing to it. Lil has disappeared. He's gone actually out under the cover of Vendetta, but underneath the Observer and Sentry Ward, the vision of Team Liquid. And he sits there on the Sentry Ward, almost out of range. The dust, it'll connect with the Spirit Siphon. Raw reflected by the Spike Carapace, but there's more than enough damage from both Crypt Swarm and Illuminate to find the kill on the Nyx. And again, Matumberman finding the Crystal Maiden. This is not a happy day to be a slow hero against a dog that speed. And Pasha knows it too. Straight into the Ghost Shroud, back under the tower. Use Ramses' Plague Wars to just defend as hard as they can. And give time for no one.
And now Liquid have the spell that they didn't have before, which I think was why they didn't commit for that bottom tower. Exorcism is online. They got 2 kills without expending it, so they can, if they wish, try to brute force down this tower. It looks like there's some decent ground gain here. VP actually going for that Rubik kill.
Yeah, they actually chase the whole way. Venomancer throws out the Nova plus the Gale. Mind Control probably tick out from this. Pasha try and survive. Just so damn tanky on the Necrophos. Even Rupture and Matama, they can't run away. Mind Control is still ticking down to both the Nova and the Venomancer. Gale, Miracle denies him in the middle of the fight. Has to make a break for the tree line. Doesn't have a lot of heroes left. In fact, it's only the Keeper of the Light alive, and he's up on top lane. Miracle alone forever. Underneath his own Tier 1 tower, but Virtus Pro come with the numbers and take a big fight.
There was this slight moment of opportunity then when Ramses was actually starting to do some significant damage with those Plague Wards. Liquid were standing under them for a while, and Pasha sees this very, very minor chance to go in and get that Reaper Scythe off on Kuro, and the moment he gets that, he heals so much from the level 4 Death Pulse that Liquid trying to fight back into him can't kill him. He just uses that Ghost Shroud, and until that Diffusal Blade is up on Lycan, which I'm guessing will be the next item after the Necro 3, Ghost Shroud is a very powerful ability for a while in this game. And VP just swung it the other way, so here we go. Kuro, there's going to be 4-step, double 4-step from Ramses and Pasha, getting that scythe before the silence. Look at him go. They're actually just really trying to kill him, and it doesn't work.
When you can't inflict the damage, can't get the big steals either, and Team Liquid just don't have that team fight control once the roar goes down. It has to almost be brute force, which is something which we've seen a lot from Team Liquid. That's why you look for that Aghanim Scepter timing over on GH. Once he has that Aghanims and they fight during the daytime, they can brute force a lot more just because of that never-ending heal that comes in from the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, good progression still. GH has higher net worth than their DP.
Yeah, that's...
Every GH Coddle game ever. Carry.
In some ways it's a good thing, in some ways it's a horrendous thing. The fact that your DP just is not getting enough out of this map. But once you've got the Yule Scepter, at least then you've got something else to dodge the initiation of Virtus Pro, or at least delay it.
Virtus Pro are trying to put on some pressure here in mid, but it still ain't easy. Plague Ward gonna do a bit of damage, 5 per hit, so in 2 hours this tower will fall.
Oh, there's something more efficient on bottom lane. It's called Dog and Wolf, taking out the tier 1 tower and adding more and more pressure. You've actually got Beastmaster giving the balls. There's a lot of summons on the bottom lane attacking or coming towards the tier 2 tower to attack.
This is a big issue though for VP, that they can't pressure the towers that well. You have Venom Wards and that's pretty much it. Nobody else wants to come in close and get the damage done. And that allows Liquid to go for the split push style and get their farm up. I think it's crucial at this point that they find a couple of keys on the key kills on the Coddle by using Nyx, but GH has been doing a very good job at not getting caught out by Lil, and with this amount of farm he has now, Lil definitely can't solo kill him. They don't have anything like a Sunstrike, so we're looking at smoke ganks in order to kill a Coddle, and you don't really want to do that. You know, most of the time you wouldn't advise smoke killing a support, but Liquid aren't playing this hero as a support. It's a core when they play these Coddle games, so he is actually the best kill on the map in my opinion.
Makes it worth it.
Yep, this is an alternative solution for VP.
They're jumping in towards Roshan. It's because they got the early Solar Crest onto Ramses, it becomes a lot more of an option. And pushing Team Liquid to fight underneath the Plague Wards of the Venomancer. But the tier 1 tower is still up. Is this really doable for Virtus Pro?
No.
Or are they just trying to bait Liquid into a fight?
Liquid are dodging them as much as they can. The gold still looks good for VP. We have, however, seen a lot of these Coddle games where...
Ramses.
Nobody's going here.
Kuro's got the double stun, like he's got telekinesis into Impale. But...
Yep. But he doesn't have 2,000 damage on Rubik. So.
Issues.
Maybe later. It's just, you know, we've seen Liquid games with Coddle where they get destroyed early, it's a really hard game, and then they get that Axe, and then they come back from a 10k or 15k gold deficit by just abusing that Illuminate daytime heal. This is one of the better games they've had with the Coddle, so I'm not looking too much toward this gold of VP and feeling like it's an even game. I think that this is going to swing really hard once that Axe comes online. And
they found the Nyx. Sentry on Sentry. Nyx Assassin's got 6 charges but doesn't have the life. In fact, even giving Vendetta into the hands of Kuro. No mana to use it is the downside for Kuro.
The upside for VP is that this BKB of Bloodseeker is closing in. He's going to have to be the big hero in this game. No one is having a good game. Yesterday, Sumil was talking about how VP's strategy should be to enable no one as much as possible. He sees him as the strongest player of the team, very mechanically skilled player in that mid lane. And when he gets this BKB, the amount of counters Liquid have they have Roar, and that's kind of it. It's the item you want to have against Coddle because then you can't get countered by Blinding Light, by Mana Leak. You get to run at these heroes and fight them. But who else is making progress? We're getting a Veil on Venom. Actually, a little bit of scouting here from Kuro. He stole Vendetta.
Yeah, he's looking towards no one. Can't really do much with it. In fact, no one. Thanks to the Observer and Sentry, they see Kuro and Pasha. Actually, thanks to the Howl, life comes up and Necrosight doesn't get the kill itself. Kill still happens, though.
Kuro's happy to respawn earlier, though. That was a 20-second added respawn time that he avoided there, thanks to the Howl.
Still a nice kill for Pasha to get. You talked about item progression. He's going to have that Rod of Atos. Really good counter to the Lycan. So you've already got one which kind of forces him to stand still. But if you can't commit the Rupture towards the Lycan, you'll at least have the Rod of Atos.
What else is coming the way of VP? They're closing in on the Blink Dagger on Lil to set up these team fights. Nyx stuns into Bloodright is a very potent combo that could put them in a good position. The Veil on Venomancer is closing in as well. A lot of amplification for the entirety of their lineup, apart from the Bloodseeker. Maiden got herself a Sentry Ward. Lots of progress there. Very fun playing Maiden in this game.
It's terrible for Maiden. But Ramsey's can at least create a little bit of space. Like, he's actually got a lot of experience too, thanks to that level 10 talent plus 30% experience. He's now sitting already at level 16, keeping up with the Bloodseeker, who's basically been by himself. But where is this attack going to come in towards the mid solo with a Nova? Liquid not want to come anywhere near it, but this is VP setting up to slowly just chip away at Roshan. And the rest of Liquid have a choice if they want to fight or not, but maybe this is that other point you're talking about. GH picks up the Aghanim Scepter, Liquid can turn this into a split game. So if VP want to do this slowly, Liquid can get a lot more out of the lanes and still bring the numbers in to defend Roshan. And actually smoke inside the pit. They are really trying to get Liquid to fight him here. And maybe they can find their target. Keeper of the Light, the stun from Lil won't connect. GH continues to run down the river.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Take a bit of a hit from the Carapace, but he has Tranquil Boots. So this item is very important on Caudle when you're playing against Nyx. This Illuminate will be reflected onto yourself a lot of times during the game. You want to stay on top of your health so you don't get bursted by other things. And, well, BP are going to try again. It looks like this time they might be successful. Liquid are feeling like this one thing is the moment where we can lose control of this game if we try to fight them there and BP win the fight. Instead, we're going to split, get that bottom tier 2. My Tumberman should be getting out of here, and they're probably just saying, you know what, BP, good luck. Go push our high ground with your Aegis at daytime, and let's see who wins. I got a clear favorite for that fight right now. Still need some more item progression from BP. Their lineup is actually pretty good in the late game, to be honest. Both Necrophos and Bloodseeker are heroes that in the past would fall off a lot, but I think since the addition of talents and different itemization, both heroes can definitely shine in late game situations. Venomancer, a similar story.
Mind control. The roar on bottom. Ram's out too far. The stun from Lil trying to stop the attacks. He's got stick charges. No force staff available. So thanks to Plague Ward, they get rid of the summons pretty quickly. Now Mind Control needs to get out. Able to do so thanks to the fact he's picked up a Blink Dagger.
Yep, close call, but not enough on the tank to get that kill on Ramses. He will back off, and looks like he has his Veil completed in 5 gold. So, wonder what VP are thinking with this Aegis. Like, it's going to be night. It's going to be daytime in 30 seconds. We'll make pushing very difficult. Are they still going to try it, or just try to farm up the map and look for pickoffs with their Nyx? That's the downside for them. There is no one who can really follow that Nyx around and look for the skirmishes together with them. No lifestealer they could infest or something like that.
No global abilities to help him out either. No Invoker Sunstrikes or anything along those lines. But Team Liquid, well, I suppose it makes the team fights a little bit more obvious. Push down a lane, and Illuminate pushes straight back again. Virtus Pro, they would love this tower. All they can do is start battling for the vision. Observer and Sentry's down. Their Sentry on Sentry there.
GH is going to see them now, though. Here's the daytime vision on the Caudle.
Yep, here's the recall. Actually bringing in extra friends. Who's it going to be in time? It's Mind Control arriving in the fight. Lil trying to run away. Rod of Atos slowing him down for the moment. They're getting rid of the Observer Ward. Spy and Carapace already burned off from Nyx Assassin's got no more mana, but the Blinding Light forcing them away, plus giving the Force up. But it's a roar onto Pasha. He'll fall down quickly. There's no way you can hide inside that Ghost Route. Venomancer Nova is nice, but Liquid, they've got that sustained Rupture on Matomaman. At least gets himself far enough away, but Ramsey's so damn low. Only one player left standing for Virtus Pro, and there's no one back behind the tower. No matter how farmed up he is, he cannot repel Virtus Pro. Liquid. Other way.
I mean, he kind of did. He repelled his own team. They all went back to base. Here comes the death push, Toby. I don't know.
Yeah, this just looks too strong, but we are 25 minutes into the game. Depends how much Team Liquid want to commit to this. There's 26 seconds before Venomancer is up. There's no buyback at Marble. Lil can get himself a nice double stump. There's still no roar, but okay, underneath the shrines, they're going to fight Lil, pick him up and throw him down. That Nova, really, really nice, but then again, it came out from the wrong hero. It came out from the Rubik. No one's standing his ground, but he needs some regeneration. Crystal Maiden solo, let it go, but then stolen again. Back, but will it be enough? You've got the fight, no one in, trying to bring down Matama and Pasha, staying alive just long enough. Lesser Reaper side go onto the Beastmaster. Team Liquid have overstayed their welcome. Miracle trying to run out of here. The ruptured up, denies himself to Ancients. Yes, he does! They thought they had that one in the bag, but denied environmentally.
Damn, I actually held that. That was really nice from VP. They used the BKB and the Aegis of No One before the team really were connecting, but he bought enough time and put enough pressure that Venomancer got off a couple of Plague Wards. The nice setup from Lil as well in the base. Carapace into 2 hero stun on the Caudle, plus I think it was maybe the Rubik. I don't remember who he hit, but definitely got 2 of them. And VP, all right.
Yeah.
This is not how I saw that one panning out. I thought Liquid were definitely going to be able to at least sustain and get the tower or get out, but VP found themselves 4 kills and a tower mid.
At least they're going to get something else, Liquid. Crystal Maiden completely out of mana. It's that vision from GH that just does so much. They're centering, trying to protect their camps. They can keep the farm going. Now getting rid of the sentry ward. Lord coming in closer. GH with that Gem of True Sight. He does see everything. Now push the Crystal Maiden in close, and Solo will dive for the Battle of Vision.
And it's go time again. Liquid are not going to stop after that, being repelled that first time. They feel like we have another minute and 20 seconds of this daytime. Want to use it as much as they can, see if they can get the tower at the very least, maybe even the barracks.
Well, no Aegis the Immortal this time.
Nope.
You do have the Exorcism now coming off cooldown. It's a decent creep wave pushing in through the bottom, so at least Virtus Pro will have that going for them. But they need to hold their tier 3 tower, a tight defense, and there's your jump forward. Lil missing a Thunder Tournament as well as Miracle. Plague Wall Deep Assault from Kuro. This is going to make a big wall for Team Liquid, just to force into the Virtus Pro base as they scramble the defenses. That melee Rack's dying very quickly. Miracle, fortification will slow him down, but then again, GH continuously regenerating up. We've got 37 seconds until night is upon us, and Virtus Pro for the moment are holding their base, but they have to get rid of Kuro's Plague Wards, causing them more problems than the Venomancer ones. Pasha, Rod of Atos, he'll connect onto Rubik, but it's too far back. They at least hold their melee racks. Nighttime in 17 seconds.
I'm expecting some massive aggression out of VP now during this nighttime. I don't think they can let Liquid get away with just farming for 4 minutes and then going again. Next time the Rax is going to go, and the Roche maybe.
Liquid look like they want to fight as well. They're going to smoke up. This is out of vision of Virtus Pro. Wrapping around the back. The Hawk can give a little bit of extra vision. But where is VP headed? They're not even sticking around. They're crossing over to the dire side of the river.
Yep. Want to push. But actually the wave is being cut by these pesky Plague Wards and Caudle, so they won't even be able to deal any structural damage. They will, however, see Miracle.
Caught a glimpse of him for a second. Remember, this is nighttime, however.
Oh, they got the wrong Ramses.
This is problematic. That Venomancer can't die. At least maybe he can get his Nova off. Able to do so. Ramses pushed down. Can't actually connect on the Gale. So GH able to survive. And here comes the rest of Virtus Pro over the river. But mind control in the tree lines with Batoman teaming up together. The Illuminous spam is big. Pasha, at least the side can get one. Jet Prophet's gone. But Batoman just so damn big. Triple kill for him. Turns his attention towards mind control, who will also fall down. No one. At least getting something back in that with the double kill.
I love the itemization from VP this game. They've got Blade Mail on Necrophos and on that Bloodseeker, and they're just running at this DP and Caudle like, cast your spells, go ahead, let's go.
GH able to get away. It was the thirst that was giving the vision.
These Blade Mail pickups are really, really good right now. That is a problem for Team Liquid that they will have to deal with. So Ramses getting off this Poison Nova before he dies is crucial. Does get blinded back into a couple of Liquid heroes actually, so he connects on, I believe, 2 or 3 there. And look at this Reaper's side. So DP looking pretty healthy, but these Blade Mails just eating her. Together with no one's BKB, that Reaper connects. Pasha just barely dying before Matumba, else that would have looked even cleaner. And with these Blade Mails for now, VP are holding on. It's a great solution to what Liquid is throwing at them right now. The question is, what is the counter itemization going to be from Liquid? Are they going to get some BKBs up and running? For example, on that Lycan, it is closing in. Maybe Death Prophet will change her approach as well. Currently sitting at queued up Octarine Core.
At least you get the regeneration in from that, but it's still...
Might need some, I don't know, magic resistance? They don't really have any... Do they have anyone building a pipe? There's the Glimmer on GH, and they have the Null Field level 3. But I feel like a pipe would be really high value when you're playing into this kind of a Venomancer strategy.
So far,
so much magic damage on the Radiant side, actually.
So far, they haven't gone for that. The Beastmaster is one of the older ones that could be picking up those kind of auras, but Mind Control is also looking for his own BKB.
Yeah. They might feel like it's too late now for pipe. It's arguably a pretty tricky pickup when it comes this late into the game. It's like 30 minutes you're debating, should I get the pipe or should we all just get BKBs instead? And it looks like BKB is the choice of Liquid.
Oh, Virtus Pro are already coming, so even with these choices they want to have, it's going to take some time to reach them. So Virtus Pro hunting everywhere they possibly can, but Liquid, their split push is still so damn good. You fall back, Matulman sends inside the tree line, he'll be recalled in by GH. And Virtus Pro, if they want to try and force something, they have to keep just pushing down the lane, and potentially into a trade-off position.
They got 50 seconds until daytime, but I mean, I'm not even sure anymore if Liquid will win this this next daytime fight as long as these blade mills are up and they don't have their BKBs coming out yet. I think BP can contest this Roche later on.
They're trying to fight nighttime. Bloodseeker's up on the top. No one not going out too far. Just throws out the blood right to force the lane in. As the Crystal Maiden inside the Roshan pit, picked up by Rubik. Already mana leaked up. Solo knows he ain't surviving this. Came with observers and sentries trying to help out. His friends are coming. Maybe Lil. Blink goes for a blind stunt to the other side of Roshan, but they do find Kuro now. Completely out of mana. Has 8-1 charges, but then 4-stuff gets him up the hill. Kuro's got the distance.
Pasha didn't want to use Scythe on this support kill, and it actually ends up keeping Kuro alive. He gets 4-staffed into Glimmer on the high ground and Howl. Maybe Pasha thought he couldn't kill him. That's also possible, knowing that the counterplay from Liquid is pretty good. And they got that freebie on the Maiden, and now Roshan is about to spawn in about 15 seconds, so Liquid will see this happening the moment it does. See if they can find anything else. Even just forcing a BKB out of no one is a really big deal. If they can intimidate him here with like a mana leak, for example, to...
Only thing is you can't come in too close because this now allows no one to rip through the back lines to scythe this down. Doesn't kill off Matubberman, but still holds him in position long enough to make it happen. A miracle! GH just brought him in. He recalled him right underneath the Bloodseeker, who is hungry for blood. Miracle will go down. A double kill for no one. They're feeding the 705 beast of Bloodseeker.
That's a Roche as well for VP. Great sequence from them. So important for them to get these jumps in. This is the weakness that Liquid's lineup has, is that when they're fragmented and not together in this structured setup where they are the ones setting up a 5-man, pushing in from one angle so the Illuminate can hit. When they're fragmented like this and the Bloodseeker runs at them, it's not that easy. The moment Matumbaman gets stunned, they're like, uh-oh, what's your counterplay? You don't really have any save. You
Mind control. You didn't want to be this close. They're trying to recall him, but the damage has already been done, so recall cancelled. And Mind Control, all he wanted to do was contest Roshan, but Ramses snots him down.
Aegis and Cheese going to no one. Guessing he will pass this Cheese on to Pasha. At some point at least. Sitting on both for now though.
This game, Team Liquid pushed in. They took the tier 3 tower mid. At that point, we thought Virtus Pro were probably even done for. A huge defense, and everything since that moment has swung around the other way. Both teams are still getting objectives, but if you look at the graph with the green as well as the orange dots, is a lot more tilted towards the VP side now.
It's just we've seen this game from Liquid so many times over the last couple of months, and this just looked like the textbook win. I was really surprised that VP managed to pull off that hold, and now that they did, Liquid's lineup is gonna struggle here. We've seen them win games where they are behind and then get the Caudillacs and then they go for the timing push, but VP beat the hard timing push. So when it comes to this easier one to defeat, what do Liquid really have to deal with this like extremely fun Bloodseeker sitting on about 20k net worth on no one, 7-0-5. Pasha, after an abysmal laning stage, has managed to recover very nicely and had a high impact in the previous fights. Lil was also slow to get started, but everyone is just coming into this game and delivering. And I mean, Liquid's heroes, even getting BKB and Lycan, you know, you're still going to get ruptured, man. What's next? You can't move around on this hero. It's pretty bad.
It's one of those moments too where you're talking about all the items which are coming in from Virtus Pro. We're talking BKBs. We're talking defensive style items. We're not talking about items which stop the Bloodseeker or kill the Bloodseeker.
Nope.
So for now, Liquid, they kind of have to do the same kind of thing Virtus Pro did. Hold the line and make sure somehow they survive without taking a huge economical damage. And that'll happen when these buybacks are forced. GH, he's bloody good at keeping him outside the base. That is what Illuminate spam is all about. But Tubman's trying to get a little bit of extra money. They're going after the shrines of the Radiant side. It's still crazy that they're alive. With so many summons from Team Liquid, the Virtus Pro still have held on to their shrines until now. And they're looking for the tier 1 tower as well. This will work. So the money starting to arrive. Do we complete any items from these 2 kills? BKB is almost there for Death Prophet.
It's going to be a Yules here on GH. On that Caudal. Gonna get 6 slotted as the first hero in his team, by the looks of it. It's a lot of good utility. Yules Scepter can counterplay the Bloodright, when this Bloodseeker starts running in and his BKB drops low, just some sort of control to just stem the bleeding and buy time more than anything. Counterplay the Nyx Assassin on the Blink Stun if he's very clutch. There are opportunities with these items on GH, but yeah, nighttime is coming now. And, well, VP still have got a good 2 minutes left on that Aegis, so I would imagine we're going to see this top tier 2 tower being completely uncontested by Liquid. And the pace of the game has definitely shifted over these last 10 minutes, where Liquid looked like they were just going to cruise and run away with it. Now they're just camping inside their own base with very little to do on the map.
Yeah, best way to describe it is living in fear.
Pretty much.
Here comes Virtus Pro.
They're even the team with good vision heroes. They have the Coddlags at daytime, they have the Hawk, they have the Wolves, but they are still terrified. And on the other side, it's just Plague Wards and this little Nyx scouting around. But even with information, that's the problem here. Liquid can see all the heroes and just feel like they can't go.
3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now actually 3 minutes 15 before Team Liquid have that daytime advantage once more. Matubberman's continuously pressuring in the top lane, exactly what he should do.
Yeah.
When things get real, GH will bring him back. Until then, Kuro just kind of needs to get close enough to Ramsey to steal the Plague Wards. So at least they can try and build up a defense, because with Crypt Swarm and Illuminate, the Creep Waves can't stay alive long enough for Virtus Pro to actually do damage to the tier 3 towers.
Do they want to get a pipe just for that, maybe?
Oh, no.
That doesn't look like it.
No. Matubberman's out.
Didn't find him.
No.
It's gone. Back to base.
In fact, everyone has. Pasha's gone to the top lane. Looks like he's building in for a Lotus Orb.
Reflect the War. Reflect Monolith. That's pretty annoying. Spirit Siphon.
Bloodseeker's actually going to be
Rubik
dropping
Blade.
his
It's a
Blade
pretty good
now
item,
eventually. He's looking forward towards a Skadi as his next primary item.
Yeah, no one is fat. He has so much farm.
22k worth of net worth, and the closest to him is the 16,000, the Venomancer.
Yeah, this is even, he didn't even go Midas on the Bloodseeker, right? It's just kills and good farm across the map, I think.
He's
Did he have Midas?
705 with 353 CS in 38 minutes. Yeah, it's been a good day at the office for no one.
Radiant's bottom shrine is
I wonder what talent he's going to get on 25. If you're struggling to push high ground like this and the opponents are zoning you off, you could argue that the Bloodright cooldown talent is really good. But 30% lifesteal is also really, really nice when you're hitting this hard.
It seems like a security thing to have that. Like if he's going to go for the Skadi, if he's going for that high amount of life and he's got the slow, like stacking lifesteal on top of that seems like a wise maneuver.
I'm interested to see what he chooses. I think both options have their merits in this game. Just gonna shove this out. When you look at this game, isn't it surprising to you that nobody bought a pipe on either side? This is like a really...
It's like
I guess for
both of the
VP
normal items. Like there's no pipe and there's not even a mech.
No.
You could look towards Greaves. I thought maybe that was the other way Team Liquid could try and counter the heavy amount of damage early on to stop the Bloodseeker from getting buffed up so much thanks to Thirst.
Yeah.
But they're just relying purely on GH's heals to do that. And he's even going for a BKB himself. He's not actually going for a Greaves of his own.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And now that the Aegis has gone, VP are like, now we push. Because now we don't have the Aegis anymore.
Now Bloodseeker actually has a useful item in his inventory as opposed to the Aegis the Immortal.
They've been struggling to set up this push. They're still being countered quite well by this split push from Liquid. Could maybe see the Boots of Travel come out on another hero than Pasha as well. Or maybe he gets BOT2s and then they just try to connect him with the Nyx. Go for blowing up someone. Oh, scouting out here at the bottom.
It's just a Hawk flying over his head. The Dire is scanning Matubman as well as Mind Controller, wondering if somebody is here.
Day is coming up soon. This is a pretty good timing for Liquid to look for an opportunity. But
Lil.
Lil links out.
Quick blink. Was just scouting out for the rune. It was a haste rune on the bottom.
Haste goes to the Coddle. You barely tell the difference in his movement speed. But
The fact that was also the 38-minute rune that spawned down there. Now there's an arcane rune that will spawn in its place.
and an illusion rune top. 40 minutes, 2 runes are now spawning.
Action time.
Team with the map control. This change, I think, is one of the big contributing factors to the average game time being reduced as much as it has. When you reach this 40-minute mark, the team that generally is controlling the map, this extra rune every 2 minutes makes a big difference. You can go for pushes with extra illusion runes or DDs, and you can easily get the Roche or just get information.
This is the big thing, though, for Miracle. It's the fact that it's the Death Prophet. So Arcane Rune is so important for her.
That's good.
The Exorcism lowered cooldown is the critical thing. You can push, you can take a fight, then you can potentially push again before Virtus Pro be ready to defend. But is Team Liquid really going to do this? Last time they tried to force a high ground was early in the tournament when they had someone like a Bristleback to be their front liner. You don't seem to really have that this time from Team Liquid. Instead, you have Lycan to do that job.
And still, Lil failed the stun.
Spike Carapace is still out, wants to get away, trying to burrow strike himself down. He's trying to go Lurker style with that Aghanim Scepter, but goes down.
Man,
he spent the money on the Aghanim Scepter.
That is really bad news. If he sat on the high ground in this pile of dirt, then Liquid could have never really pushed, but this is a 40-second window at daytime.
Yep. That's exactly what Virtus Pro wanted. The Arcane Rune might have worn off, but Exorcism, available for Miracle, he'll end up committing it. Blood Right makes it very difficult to push high ground. Not to mention the Plague Ward Wall is starting to come up too. But Illuminate spam from GH, Sustain is there. They're chipping the tier 3 tower. These Necro Books,
no one
ending their life.
25.
They don't have enough damage just yet. Even with a 4-staff into the Gale of Miracle, he doesn't want to stay that close. A lot of ATOS on the GH, but it's not going to matter.
It's a 5-second Blood Right cooldown, man. How are Liquid going to push the base now? Maybe this game never ends. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna... We push you, you push us.
Well,
nobody can high ground.
I was lucky enough to have that, 140-minute game with Fogged during the qualifiers. Hey, maybe we can top that. 42 minutes in, you know the high ground defense from both sides is wonderful. The only other way around it is then fight outside the base, get a pick off.
Might want to be looking to split. You want to push 2 lanes at once, but that's not really what Liquid's lineup is the best at. Lycan is pretty good for it, but you want...
well, the double stun. He caught out Kuro as well as Mind Control, and Rupture on the back lines finding Keeper of the Light. So Kuro's being dealt with for the moment by the borrowed up Lil, but the rest of the fight's on top of Matamaman, chasing after no one. He has the Blade Mail up, Matamaman doing some damage, but also now it's Ramses with the Nova out. Miracle trying to set his ground. He doesn't have the Exorcism. They don't have physical damage from him, but Matamaman may just be enough. Ramses burns the cheese. They have the life. The Blinding Light makes it difficult to get any more damage out as Miracle has somehow managed to get not only a double kill, but winning this fight so far in favor of Team Liquid. Venomancer has nowhere to go. He'll go down. There's no buyback. A 3-man stun for a TP out from Lil. He'll be successful, but now he's the only man to defend this Team Liquid push.
And Liquid are going to heal themselves up fully here as well. They still have a 1-minute timer until night, so plenty of Illuminates to come from GH, and this is buyback territory. I think VP hold their high ground with 2 buybacks here, but I think they have to burn both. They're probably going to buy back the Bloodseeker first.
Spamming Blood Right and the Borrowed Nyx may just be enough with just the 2 of them.
It could maybe work because they're still cooldown on this Exorcism, and 40 seconds, oh, they're both going to buy back, and Liquid just get the hell out of there.
Yep, they got exactly what they want. Necrolite and Bloodseeker having to burn their money. They bring the net worth closer together, and they actually hold the gold advantage for the moment.
Crucial in that fight that they get the roar on the Bloodseeker next to Lycan. You're going to see, actually this is the tail end of it, but Matumbaman was able to be useful. They got the roar on the Bloodseeker. Even if he's ruptured, he's just standing there mauling into this Bloodseeker. Eventually brings him down. Gets very low in the process, but still survives until the end when I do believe he did die here, right? Eventually. Matumba's dead in my game. I don't know. Did he die to Poison Nova? I guess so.
He died to Lil.
Yeah. Oh, he died to Lil. Okay. Lil, by the way, finding Mind Control, missing his stun. Hasted Beastmaster, not too easy to hit there, and Lil couldn't have killed him anyway. But big move for Liquid. They got that out of their daytime. Did not get a tower, but forced 2 core buybacks. And if they can get another fight like that where they roar up no one and bring him down, that could spell the end of Virtus Pro, so VP needs to be careful. Maybe get themselves a Lincoln Sphere against that.
That'll work. Miracle just got one.
Yeah, but he's on the other team. So
yeah.
That doesn't really help.
Wrong side. VP looking for the kill. Illuminate spam down the middle as well as a second wave.
Kuro gets a ward out. Both teams having
They're so close. Lil jumps in. He's going to get the stun over on Miracle. Blinding Light from GH. Going to create a little bit more space. Miracle. And BKBs as well. That was his 9-second BKB. Really not wanting to die.
I got scared there. No one's going to clear up bottom. That was the Necro Book and Ultimate used from Matumbaman trying to split push, but no one is going to wave clear like an absolute boss with this low cooldown. No problem whatsoever. Taking that out. Now the question is, who finds the next opening? There's no dead heroes on the map. Nyx is in Vendetta again with a gem. If he can find just anyone, that will be an Aegis for VP. They need this Aegis, I think. If this Aegis goes to Liquid, it's going to get very scary at the upcoming daytime. So Virtus Pro will be trying their best to control the Roshan area. Don't seem to have the confidence to really start doing it though. They want to push out the waves further.
If there was a double damage for no one, then maybe they would believe in this a lot more.
But
the top lane continues to be pressured in. The Beastmaster is there. Lil's going to find him, or I suppose the other way around. Both of the gem carriers see each other and run away.
Miracle, Invis rune top, so 2 relatively bad runes at this time for what is happening. You would like a double damage if you're VP, and if you're Liquid, maybe you would have liked the Invis to be on the bottom side. These illusions of DPR, that's nice, but doesn't really change anything right now. The Invis rune gonna go to Kuro, might be able to use it to get a ward out at the very least. Something. VP have to defend this constant lane shove out of Liquid, all of these summons, and yeah, for the moment these DP illusions are adding a little bit insult to injury.
They really just want the kills. They don't want to be doing this. Right now it's PvE for Virtus.pro, because every time they arrive looking for a hero, all that's left is the creeps. And nothing's going to stop this.
Man, this Blood Rite is sick, man. I can't get over this. This spell has a 5-second cooldown? Really?
No?
Really, Icestrong?
Balance in all things, Synderen.
Yeah, I guess so. There's a lot of good 25 talents in the game. There's other things where you go like, what? Oh, here comes the Roche attempt for Liquid. They've successfully pushed out the waves very nicely, and this is a fast kill.
Burning Exorcism as well.
Exorcism, Solar Crest.
And there's nothing going to really defend it. Mind Control's watching for it. There's no vision from Virtus.pro around the pit. So if VP are going to defend, they're going to have to do it from their own high ground. And Liquid very quickly smoke. It's like they want that movement speed to get into the base. Still cooled, buyback on cooldown for both Bloodseeker and Necro for 4 minutes. A big window for Liquid if they can get one of them down.
Did we mention the BKB on Caudle?
We mentioned it was being bought, not the fact it was done and it's already halfway to his Octarine.
I wonder what the win rate is of this item on this hero. If it gets picked up in like oh, you don't do 2 points in decimals. 0.001% of games maybe? And Caudle in competitive? Like, I don't even know if I've seen this before. GH is really, really farmed. I wonder... I mean, you want to get this item against Nyx Assassin, but at the same time, he's been doing a very good job at staying alive. He's 4-1 and 17, so could have alternatively gone for a secondary Linken's for his team, a Scythe of Vice, you know, something along those lines. Even an Octarine core that we've seen GH build in the past on his Caudle to just spam out even further. But he deems the BKB more important here. It's interesting to see. It's a very uncommon item on this hero.
They gave Miracle the Arcane Rune again. So this time you kind of almost wish that Team Liquid would buy him a bottle, so you're able to hold on to it until the push happens. Because it's the same fight on bottom lane. Miracle burnt through half of the Arcane Rune before he's even thinking about using Exorcism, and ended up not using it with the Arcane. Small little things.
Yep.
But Virtus.pro, they know they're going to come under siege. This tier 2 tower is toast.
Yeah, absolutely gone. VP will be playing high ground. How are their buybacks doing? 2.5 minutes they need to hold before they have buybacks. That's pretty much the entirety of this daytime that Liquid can try to siege. I'm imagining the situation they want to set up now is one where there are 4 heroes top and Lycan on bottom. He's currently working toward it. It is difficult for them to ensure that this happens, but if they can attack 2 lanes at the same time, they're going to do structural damage. Still no Lycan. Linken's though, so Matumman is going to be
You got
really
Linken's for
annoying.
him. You got a full Abyssal Blade for Mind Control, and Ramses can also survive through this. You got a lot of blocks on both sides of the fence with a lot of initiation. I'm not so certain about doing the split push kind of thing, because Ramses, he has hit level 25. He's got the 3 Plague Ward upgrade. So with this, he can potentially hold an entire lane by himself. And then Blood Rite does the other thing. You may be right. This is the game that can go on and on and on and on and on.
If you feel like it's a better idea to just push into the Nyx Assassin with Axe and these 5-second Blood Rite cooldowns and Plague Wards in the same lane, then by all means, it looks like we're trying.
They use the Rod of Atos to trigger off the Linken Sphere as Mind Control the cover of BKB moves forward, but Miracle continuously stunned up. They're doing a lot of damage, Lycan in through the bottom. The tier 3 tower is already toast, but where is this fight going to keep going? The Venomancer ulti is doing its work. Miracle, he burns the Aegis Immortal. It's gone. Remember, he won't have that Exorcism when he comes back to life again, and he's surrounded by the rest of Virtus.pro. But he has the BKB plus the Glimmer Cave. Shiva's Guard from Ramses is looking for a slow and has found GH. A nice hero to get rid of if he doesn't force up over the top of the stun from Lil. The Scythe can put Rubik down. Lycan will fall as well in the bottom lane. No one solo dealing with him. And thanks to the vision, they've got GH invisible, but not really. The Thirst lets Virtus.pro see everything. They'll claim 3 kills, chasing Liquid to the river. defending their top lane, holding the bottom lane of Rax. The only thing they lost was the tier 3 tower on bot.
That is not an easy play call to make, by the way. They're committing their absolutely strongest hero for the full duration on bottom. The Bloodseeker never joined the top fight. He was fighting Matumbaman the whole time with that Bloodseeker, and they held the other 4 on 4. They felt like if we split our heroes this way and we connect our spells...
Lil. He's got such a huge opening on Miracle with no one here. Ruptures off cooldown in a fraction of a second. He's got the movement speed. They have to get close towards Miracle, but they can't get the Rupture in time. Miracle retreats back to the safety of home. Meanwhile, Mind Control is trying to do the split push once more. So Virtus Pro, they come down the mid. GH, the Spike Carapace, it hit both Miracle and GH. No one, such high movement speed, such high damage. Lil once more too. Illumina spam, trying to push him back out, combining with the Mana Leak and the Force Staffs. Lil stunned up, the Raw will hold in there. Mind Control returning from his mission abroad. The Blinding Light won't cancel the TP, even the Lincoln Spear. Saving Ramses.
I think they also ruptured the Lincoln there. I believe that was what broke Miracle's Lincolns. I didn't see a rupture on either hero in that situation, and Liquid identified that probably and immediately turned around and just took the fight head on. And they held with, was that only 3 heroes?
Yep.
All right.
At the end, they got the kill when they brought Mind Control back.
Yep.
But the Gem of True Sight is still sitting on the steps of
All
Team
right.
Liquid's base, so vision-wise, they're holding on to both of the gems. You're going to start seeing a little bit more items arriving. Lotus Orb is up for the Necro. Bloodseeker was sitting on a crap ton of money, but he's ended up selling the Blade Mail and has the full Skadi now.
Blade Mail is losing its efficiency now that they're getting all these BKBs running, and obviously just the value of the item, the cost. The stats aren't that good. He needs to time the Blade Mail usage very well to make it worth it, and this Skadi is just overall a very solid choice here. So where do you go from here if you're no one? You want the Moon Shard, and then I wonder if he's going to start replacing any items. This Diffusal Blade has still got 5 charges, and he's had it for a very long time, so I might even think about getting something else in instead, maybe an Abyssal.
Mid, Pasha caught out, puts up the Lotus Orb, trying to protect him, thanks to the Gale from Ramses. Miracle really slowed up as a Necrobooks running after the poor Crystal Maiden. They forced after a little bit further away and Blood right, just to create some space. Both teams feeling the confidence to come outside their bases and fight. This isn't just a straight up high ground defense. This is 2 teams respecting each other's team fight, but also believing in their own.
Let's see what is coming in here. I'm starting to look at 25 talents even on the supports, because this feels like the type of game that could reach that state. And when you think about drafting and what heroes are good in general, very rarely are you like, oh, this hero has the best 25 talent ever on my support Crystal Maiden. I'm totally going to pick this hero this game. But now that we're reaching that state, there are some supports that just have incredible 25 talents compared to others. The Nyx Carapace is coming up maybe in about 5 to 10 minutes. Lil could be 25. That's the extra damage.
About the Coddle one, where you can actually, like, GH is already sustaining so much. Does he get the 200 damage / heal for Illuminate?
The cast range is also incredible. 400 cast range on Coddle is so good. And then you look over to Crystal Maiden, plus 300 damage on Nova.
He's trying to catch up to him at the moment. A quick limit cape, GH. Under the cover of Invids, has his BKB. Solo wants to keep up with this. He puts down the Observer Ward plus the Sentry Ward and the Rupture. It'll go on the Keeper of the Light. He's got Yule Scepter of Valor just walking it off, and GH is down for a minute. It's a big part of the counter push of Team Liquid.
If VP realized he doesn't have buyback, he was the only hero to buyback in the previous defense of Liquids. If VP realized that, they could really try to push their advantage here. I think Coddle is a big problem for their lineup, and having all this time to get something done, they should really try to take advantage of this, but the waves are just
Beastmaster
pushing in all the time.
Mind Control, you don't want to be here. Ramsey's coming from the north, but he didn't fully wrap around. They don't really know the Courier is in fact trying to make a bit of a quick run. There goes your Raw. Out on no one. Does no one actually want to fight this one? He's going to flutter. Look at that movement speed. Batuma's fighting on the bottom lane, but Mind Control is having a one-on-one battle with no one all the way on the north. Starts his TP. The damage, the damage, the damage. Mind Control. Successful TP away, but Tubberman will also survive.
Solar Crest, good item. That evasion, keeping him alive there, the 20%. I think no one missed 2 attacks. Oh, that's just what he needed to get that kill.
He's running for ball.
Maybe he's going to get MKB on that Bloodseeker as well. He's against the Crest, Blinding Light. There's a lot of problems for him. But Liquid are doing such a good job buying time.
He's in trouble. He's gone invis with the Vendetta. They got the Dust of Balbal, so Kuro's going to fall down. No buyback for him. 64 seconds.
But the Coddle is up again in 5.
He is. and the defense, but how much damage can you do in 5 seconds? There's fortification available from Team Liquid. Lil's already borrowed up. They understand he's there. Necrobook's on cooldown for 23 seconds. They don't have the reveal from that.
They got
from
her
Mind Control's gem. So the range racks will fall. The double stun! Lil able to find him. Miracle and Mind Control. They're in pretty damn deep. Spy Carapace causing so many inches for Team Liquid until finally they can get the Abyssal Blade hit into Lil. He'll actually go visible thanks to those Necrobooks, which are up. Ramses has to let the ulti go. Only really connects onto Miracle. He's still got his BKB available. Now going to use it for the side, trying to hold him in position, but nowhere near enough damage to actually slice off his head. So they keep the battle going as the Illuminate, giving Liquid the sustain they need. Or is it no one's just such a beast? Lycan has the cheese usage. He's got the life, but now they're bringing the damage. It's the ultimate with the exorcism, but Miracle is dying too quickly. Ramses is there. They have to fight back, but they committed their big ultimates. Even GH, finally he'll die to solo, getting the Nova round. Team Liquid, they're missing so many players and so many abilities, while Virtus Pro sustain and continue the pressure. Silence, Mind Control, Axis, they are buffed up with that level 25 ability. The damage is nice, but Virtus Pro do the wise thing. They retreat. They got double buybacks from 2 big cores of Liquid.
And they got a full lane of racks. In the middle of that fight, these Plague Wards of Ramses, the strong Plague Wards, are just slowly but steadily getting buildings. Now they're going to wait for the next Roshan, double damage rune as well. Going to see it here. Just slow, steady push. Lil is playing really aggressive this game. I think that it's tempting to go for that kind of play when you get the 2-hero stun. You want to continue to put on the pressure, but ends up getting killed off. Still, it is a 4-on-4 with the dead Rubik, and VP baiting Liquid outside battle. Seems like killed off. Still, it is a